What's up, guys? I got another one out for you this week. If I got to meet you last week at Homebrew Austin, it was so much fun. If you got to come out to the live show, that's even better. We had a great time. I had a lot of fun giving stuff away and talking to all of you guys. But yeah, I wanted to make sure we got another one out this week. This is another 5 episodes. It's shorter because 2 of the episodes at the end are without Gus. That's going to become a theme moving forward, where it's going to be a few episodes, then 2 without Gus, and it still takes the same amount of time for me to edit, so I still want to get it out all in 1 week. I also should have some unrelated videos coming up. I have a couple interviews with past Rooster Teeth employees and a little video about Homebrew and the podcast that I've been so fortunate to be a part of. I'd really appreciate if you guys supported that. I did talk to someone at Homebrew about how I don't like asking people to like or subscribe because I feel like you should just do that in what you're doing. I know it takes a lot for me to subscribe to a YouTube channel, and I hope all of you hold that same standard for yourselves and then eventually subscribe to me one day. All right. Enjoy.
So we're at Buzzmill today, which
Yes,
is
we are.
off of Riverside, and I've been wanting to come back to this part of town because we lived in this area for so long.
Yeah.
This is like just south of the river, right off of Riverside. You used to live not too far in that direction. I used to live not too far in that direction. Then I lived with you, and
Yeah.
so we have like a lot of old stories in this part of town from the late 90s, early 2000s. How long did you live down here?
I think I owned that house for I owned it for a while until they took it from me, and then I had to buy it back. I lived there, I want to say 6.5, 7 years, somewhere around there, I think. Because we lived there for about a year after we stopped Telenetwork, I think. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I worked at T&I for 6 years.
Yeah, I lived here for 3 years, then I moved away to a different part of town. Then I came back and lived with you for a while.
This was where a lot of our formative times happened. I know just driving in here, we were just pointing out shit to Eric, and there's a lot.
There is a lot. I looked around here. It's kind of a disgusting story. You taught me how to vomit if I drank too much right over here.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Man.
Behind the Dairy Queen?
It was like the Dairy Queen was here. Those apartments were not here. I forget what was there before, but it was like right over here.
There's worse apartments, I think. Why? Where were we drinking? Where were we drinking?
Like, remember, I had a thing where like I would we were both heavy drinkers back then, and like I would drink a bunch and I would never vomit, and you'd always convince me like if you just get it out of your system, you can keep drinking.
Yeah.
And finally, I gave in, and you taught me how to do it right over here.
I remember one time we went to Hula Hut and we were trying to drink hula laws, which is this really sugary drink they serve you in a fish bowl, and it's like I don't know,
Not at all gimmicky.
not at all gimmicky, just like red sugar and booze in a fucking fish bowl. And I remember Gus and I were trying to see how many we could drink or something.
Yeah.
And we kept taking turns to go throw up outside and come back in to keep drinking.
It was like off there because it's right on the water, so you would throw up off the railing into the water, and the ducks would come and eat it. So
Yeah, it's the less glamorous side of alcoholism.
it was not great. That wasn't like we were just at Hula Hut. It was like an event. Someone was having to get together or something.
Yeah.
And we've ruined a lot of events like that. We went to a wedding once.
Oh, you talking about Brian's wedding?
No. Oh, we should talk about that one. We went to a wedding once, Eric, where there was an open bar, and the bride and the groom had capped the open bar at a certain amount, and we drank through that amount before the reception ended.
Yeah.
Then the bartenders had to go to the bride and groom and ask them if they wanted to extend, and they did. And then we drank through the extension, and the bar owners had to go to the bride and groom again and ask them and tell them they drank through the extension. They wanted to extend, but the bar was out of alcohol.
That's right.
We had drank all of the alcohol in the bar. We had a little, obviously there were other people there, but
We were the driving force behind it.
Yeah.
Bride and groom not happy with us.
they were
I
not
remember that.
happy at all. It was a lot of money. It was a very fancy venue here in town, and we drank a lot of alcohol.
That being said, we celebrated their wedding.
Yeah. It was a celebration of their love.
Super festive. I remember Bernie got really mad at us one time, so we went to this wedding for a coworker. It was actually the guy who let Dan Godwin work at RT for free, or at Telenetwork for free. And we went to this guy's wedding, and there was like every table had a
centerpiece.
Had a centerpiece, and in the centerpiece was like a little cheap bottle of like Chianti. Okay. Just gross.
It had like flowers taped on, or like glued onto it and shit.
And it was like, I think it was like probably like $7 Chianti that you go buy at like World Market, and it was more about the set dressing than anything else. But as we were leaving, it was just still just sitting there. So Gus and I grabbed I don't know, all of them.
We started collecting them all.
Like there was like maybe 30 tables, and so Gus and I had like arms full because we're like, they're just gonna throw this away. And Bernie came over and yelled at us and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And we're like,
"There's centerpieces.
It's free.
Take it. It's just gonna go to waste."
Fucking gremlins.
Well, we were
Just fucking carrying dirty bottles of cheap wedding wine.
15 each. I mean, it's not as bad as you make it sound.
You also got to take into consideration, dudes in their mid to late 40s are telling you this story, but we were barely legal at the time. I was I was 23 maybe.
Oh, no, you were...
I was 24 maybe, 25.
Yeah, because I was a couple of years between us. I was definitely 21.
Yeah, no, I'm passing judgment now, but at the time I would have been doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
100%. We would have been like, all this free wine?
I think it's one of the things that pisses me off about this place, Buzz Mill Coffee Shop, that we're at. Because it's like a coffee shop bar, and it's very like lumberjack themed. It's very like Pacific Northwest. It's very Austin punk rock tattoo culture. It's got the same vibe as like Jackalope, Lil Darlin', emos in the old days. Like, it is very much of that scene. And if this place would have existed when we lived here, it would have been fucking awesome. But they built it 10 years after we moved.
Way later than that.
And now I don't drink. And I'm certainly not going to come back here to get coffee on a regular basis. So I'm annoyed at their timing. I hate them because they came too late.
Well, everything here, like I'm looking around, like where we are, we're on the back patio. There's not much of a view. I can't really see. They have these fences everywhere. But what I can see is all, I don't remember any of this.
No.
Like, this is all new. We're next to a Dairy Queen. That was here. But all this other shit is all new. We're right by the Oracle headquarters, which is where it used to be, where there was an apartment complex where I lived. That was the Damp apartment.
Yeah.
Was right over here. And it was like the cheapest place you could live in Austin was like right here. And now, there's all these, quote unquote luxury apartments I can see all around us here.
The cheapest place to live in Austin was on the water?
Yeah, it was right over here.
Dude, you don't understand.
It was scary though.
It was like...
It was real scary. It was like, don't go out once the sun goes down.
It made no sense.
Wow.
It makes no sense why this part of town was such prime real estate that was just so shoddy. But it really was. He's right. You didn't go... It's not where... Like, if you wanted to go to Town Lake, even though it was right here, you drive across the interstate and go on that side.
Not here.
Now, of course, absolutely. It's fucking gorgeous. You get take any opportunity to get anywhere you can. But it's cleaned up. I would say, in my time in Austin, probably more than any other area, Riverside might be the street with the most amount of change. In terms of, like, being I mean, it's still a ugly, messy street, but every block is significantly different.
It was consistently voted the ugliest street in Austin.
Dude.
Time and time again.
Dude,
yeah.
I bought a house right off Riverside, 23 years old, very excited, very proud of myself, bought my first house. 3 weeks later, got the Chronicle on the cover, Riverside, ugliest street in Austin. Yet again.
It was
yet
like,
again.
Wow, you were on the cover of the Chronicle?
It was like a running thing. And back before Ben White was a freeway, it used to have lights on it down over here. So to get to the airport, you would drive down Riverside. Like, this is the way you would get to the airport.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my memory, because before Rooster Teeth, I had that other job where I would travel, and I lived over here in this area. It's like, I remember always driving down Riverside, like, pre-dawn to get out to the airport, going out in that direction. Obviously, all that traffic's redirected now. That area was under construction for 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, to make Ben White that freeway down there?
At least.
To remove all the lights?
It was just like a joke.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
The way the traffic would back up over there. And I remember there's a McDonald's down right there, right off of that Ben White's, real close to the call center where we used to work.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember how dangerous that intersection was. Like, where you would turn, because you would have to drive by that McDonald's to get to the call center back down where we worked if you're coming off of Ben White back then. And I felt like at least once a week, one of the employees was getting into an accident right there at that McDonald's. They'd be like, "Why are you late?" Be like, "Hey, my car's all fucked up. I got hit right in front of the McDonald's." You go out into the parking lot. It's like, "Oh yeah, they're not full of shit. They got T-boned at the McDonald's."
That was also after T and I moved, and we were in the second location on Burleson. We were next to a Wendy's.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. Like, we could walk out.
I lived off that junior bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, we could walk out and just walk right into that Wendy's. I stopped eating fast food for about 5 years, maybe 6 years, because of that Wendy's. Well, in part because of that Wendy's. One, because I was driving to visit my mom in Alabama, and I stopped at a Taco Bell on I-10 in East Texas, like around Vidor, which is not a place you should stop
Do
anyway.
not go.
No, stay away from Vidor. But I was starving.
Have you heard stories of Vidor?
I don't think so.
It's the most racist town in America.
Oh, that's the place?
Yeah.
Oh, I just didn't know it by... Sorry, guys, I don't know that place by name.
Don't go to Vidor.
If you live in Texas long enough, you kind of learn
You know
about it
it.
through osmosis, yeah. And so there was a girl who took my order. She had a open sore on her lip, and I watched it drip onto the countertop, and I was like, "That's rough." And then I went to the Wendy's one time and got a chili, a little cup of chili, and it had a Band-Aid in it, and I was like, "That's it. I'm done. I can't eat fast food anymore." And I didn't for a very long time.
That Wendy's sustained me for so many years with his 99-cent junior bacon cheeseburgers. Just like I remember being broke, and it was like I would either order a pizza from Papa John's and eat off it for a couple days, or eat like 1 or 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers from that Wendy's down there. But also down in that area, like segueing to a little more recent, like a little bit more Rooster Teeth times, it was that, or it's still there, that post office, which is the one right down by the call center. The one that we went to for years shipping stuff out for
our
Rooster
mailbox.
Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the saddest, and I know post offices don't generally have like the most welcoming atmosphere, but that post office is the saddest and simultaneously angriest post office I've ever been to. Like even from the outside, like you park in the parking lot and you look at it, and it's just got this I don't know how to properly describe it. I would say it's like almost like a reduced brutalistic architecture look to it, where it's like you look at it and you're like, this looks like a fortress. Like this place does not look like they want you to come inside. We would have to go there all the time to mail stuff out when we were, in the early days, we were like mailing store orders or mailing DVDs
Yeah, and that's where our
out.
P.O. box was,
Yeah,
so
we had
we'd
a
have to
P.O.
get our
box
mail there.
And it's just awful. I can't believe that it's untouched. It looks like something out of the late 70s, early 80s, and it's just like nothing has changed about it. I wouldn't be surprised if they put spikes up on the front door.
I thought all post offices were like that post office because, who goes to a post office when you're a teenager? Not very often, right? And then so I was in my early 20s. That was when we were hitting it like 3 or 4 times a week because we had to get RT mail and we had to mail off DVDs and shit. And we would that's also where we would go to get the AOL CDs we would prank each other with.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I thought all post offices sucked because those people and that place sucked. But turns out there's some lovely post offices in town.
Not that one. That one is
God damn.
awful.
That's why we use stamps.com.
Hey, there you go. You can avoid having to go to that post office. But yeah, I remember there was a... I don't know if this was before your time at the call center. And I only worked there like a year before you showed up. So it might have been in that time. But do you remember there was that breakfast taco place right across
Happy
the street?
Taco.
Happy Taco, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
man.
sure if it was still open when you went there.
We would always, like Anthony would get us Happy Taco sometimes. We'd always have, you'd have a Beck or a Peck or a Sec, right?
Yeah. And it was like...
That's bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese, potato, egg, and cheese.
I don't know if you cracked the code.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody call them
Beck, Peck, Sec, and yeah.
Okay.
They had I every now and then I still look on the internet trying to find an old Happy Taco shirt. Because I don't know if you remember, they sold shirts. And it was just like a taco with a face on it. And it just said like in bubbly, like a Cooper font or something, like Happy Taco across the top.
I'm going to guess they're not still around.
Oh, no. They were gone even when we were working at the call center.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. They were not there anymore.
That's right, because like a sandwich shop opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So down the street from there was the sketchiest, dirtiest business. I never went there for... I drove by because it was by where we worked. But this was the...
Doing a lot of...
For somebody who was there, his car was in the parking lot multiple times.
Just a bunch of caveats before he
listen,
explains anything.
This place was sketchy as hell. I don't know if you remember this, Geoff.
I don't know.
Like down the road from the call center was this business called Mermaids.
Oh! That's right.
Where it was a
right.
a hot tub rental place, but not like you get the hot tub delivered to your house. Like you use the hot tub there, and you could hire a mermaid to get in the hot tub with you.
What?
Yeah.
It was like a hot tub hand job place.
Oh, place?
What?
Yeah.
Mermaids.
It was there for years. And I remember I would always drive by and be like, what the fuck? Like, I can't believe that place is still here. It was there for a long time.
I never saw any of those mermaids.
Well, there, you've heard it here. Mermaids are real.
Mermaid's private hot tub rental.
Yep. Oh, is it still there? Eric's looking on his phone.
I'm looking it up. It's listed under massage. Oh, Yelpers report that this location is closed.
Guess it didn't survive the pandemic.
You think that's what did it?
Yeah, I just like I feel like even though that's not Riverside, that's a little further south.
AustinCommunity.livejournal.com is where I'm finding more information about Hot Tub Hourly. Oh, this rules! Wow.
I feel like that's just indicative of like the change this entire part of town has gone under. It went from a little dangerous, kind of seedy, to very like Oracle's headquarters. You know, this coffee shop. Like you look around, like there's so much change. There's a condo place. So remember, there used to be the world's most expensive vet was right down there next to the liquor store.
Oh yeah. That's right,
now,
Riverside Vet.
Yeah, now it's like a luxury condo.
First liquor store where I ever was a regular at was right the Riverside Liquor right here.
The one next to Thundercloud?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the first place I ever got recognized like as a regular. I thought it was so cool.
I only ever went to that store 2 or 3 times. I can't remember where I would go to buy liquor back then.
Really?
Yeah.
I would go there.
It's weird. I know the first place I ever went to buy liquor at when I turned 21, like right after I turned 21, got my ID, it was that Centennial Liquor on West 6th, which is kind of by Whole Foods. Well, I guess it just closed like a year ago, I think. It's like a pizza slice place now.
It's called Favorite Pizza.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a New York Mets themed like pizza slice place. Like a New York, it's all blue and orange, and they have just like tons of Mets stuff everywhere.
Which is right by some old Austin institutions, which are closed now, that were very beloved, but I never really liked. Hutt's Hamburgers and Frank and Angie's.
Yeah, I liked Frank and Angie's. Hutt's I never got. I will say, though, interesting thing about that place is there was this beloved hamburger restaurant called Hutt's, and it'd been around for like 60 years. It eventually closed down, I think, because the owner wanted to retire, and they made it into an Italian restaurant called Sammy's, and I didn't know this. I ate there recently. It was okay. It was hard to get a reservation for how okay it was. But it used to be, I didn't know this, but before it was Hutt's, it was an Italian restaurant called Sammy's.
Really? Like back in the 40s?
So they
brought back that
to its
brand?
roots, yeah.
I guess Frank and Angie's was the better of those two restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I always liked about those places was that the employees always wore the opposite shirts.
Yeah.
So if you went to Frank and Angie's, all the waiters were wearing Hutch shirts. And if you went to Hutt's, all the waiters were wearing Frank and Angie shirts.
That's awesome.
And if Frank and Angie's was such a stereotypical, like, cheap Italian restaurant, like, you would go in and they had a Goodfellas poster and a Big Night poster and, like, a Scarface poster and a Mermaids poster, speaking of mermaids again. And they were all just, like, framed with that, like, $10 Walmart frame with plastic and the little, black sliders. And then all of the tables had, like, green and white checkerboarded table, like, vinyl tops, and then there was fake vines everywhere.
Yeah,
just like Hobby Lobby vines everywhere. And if you wanted to go and get like a $7 baked ziti, that was the place to do it. Yeah,
but I think they probably both have the same owner. They both closed like more or less the same time. They're both gone now, but they were there forever.
You guys talked about living down here, but you also, is this where the call center was down here?
Pretty close.
It was just off of Ben White. Like if you take one of these roads down here, down past Ben White, it's right over there.
So, like, you were spending a lot of time just south of the river, right? Like
almost all of
north of the river was far away.
Really?
Yeah, except like downtown. We would go downtown, but I don't know if I really went north of the river other than that.
I don't think
bowling.
Yeah, we ever went north of 7th Street, probably. Back in those days, there was no real reason to.
We would park north of 7th Street.
Well, yeah, sure.
So there was a
Texas State Teachers Association.
Well, no, there was the Principal Association, wasn't it?
That was what it was.
Whenever we would go downtown, there was the Principal Association building was like at Red River and 11th or 12th, I think, and you could park there after hours and they wouldn't tow you, and you didn't have to pay. So we would always park over there and then like walk down to 6th or 7th Street. Now they have a gate up. You can't do that anymore. But it was like one of those loopholes that we found where it's like, oh, you can park in this parking lot. Nobody's here and they won't tow you. You can't do that anymore.
No.
Now you got to pay a bunch of money.
You know what else we're really close to? We're really close to the movie theater where Gus and his parents went on their first date.
Oh, I heard about that.
That's not a movie theater anymore. That's just like 3 blocks that
Yeah,
way.
it's like right next block down.
We missed the turn and almost saw it.
Yeah, that's true. We did miss the turn coming.
All this is different. Like, and I never come down here anymore, so it's like it's really confusing.
It was Gus driving, going, "Where's the Dairy Queen?"
Yeah, I know it's by the Dairy Queen. There it is.
Gus brought up a story on the way in. We passed by a place called Baby A's, Baby Acapulco's, which is Austin, like a local Mexican chain. There's 3 of them, I believe.
Are there? I think this is the last one.
Oh, no. There's one up at like the Arboretum.
There is?
Yeah. Oh, I go to that one all the time.
There used to be one here. There used to be one on Barton Springs. There used to be the one on 35 that closed. So I guess there's two now.
Yeah.
And that is where we told the story recently about the dude that saw us drinking Lone Stars and asked us where we were from, because nobody from Austin drinks Lone Stars. It was that place, but it was also where Gus brought up a really funny story. It's where we all signed our initial contracts to start Rooster Teeth. Like, we went there for lunch one day, like maybe 3 in the afternoon, and it was me, you, Jason, and Bernie.
Those are the people I remember.
Matt there?
I think Matt was living in L.A. at the time, if I remember right.
So it had just been me, you, Jason, and Bernie. Yeah.
As far as I remember, yes.
And we went there, and Bernie wanted us to sign, just contracts or whatever, to make it all official. And Gus and I signed ours, and Jason was drunk. And
well, we had all started been drinking those frozen margaritas.
What are they called?
Oh, well, they had the blues.
Baby blues or
They
whatever?
got blues. They have the Superman. They have so many. There's the purple one.
The purple.
The purple
yeah.
one's like crazy.
The purple you can't have more than 2, I
No.
think.
The purple
yeah.
one's
They
the
cut
one
you off.
that Bernie tells a story about. He had one on his, he had, I think, one on the night he turned 21, and it was just the next day.
Oh, my God.
I want to say. I don't want to steal his story, and I don't
Yeah.
want to mistell it, but I think it was something like that.
Well, we've been drinking those.
We'd been drinking those. And we went to there a lot, actually. We were big Baby A's fans.
Yeah.
I guess because proximity. Anyway, and Jason kept signing his, like, this doesn't count. This isn't legally binding. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't
Over
sign
and
it for
over.
the longest time. And then when he did, he just kept doing that. And eventually we gave up.
I think
Bernie
he was like signing it with his
so-
left hand. That way it didn't look like his real
He
signature.
was so angry at Jason that day. And Jason
was
just
so frustrating.
decided we were all obnoxious in our own ways. And it was just like whoever was taking the turn being a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it was Jason that day. Oh man.
I think that might be the last time I've been in that Baby A.
Probably me too.
I don't know if I've been back there since then. That was like 03, 04.
I think maybe the last time I went to any Baby A's was after that, when Bernie and I did the Martin Sargent interview for Tech
yeah.
TV.
Oh, my God.
We did it at a remote facility
was like
over
on Westlake, right?
on Westlake or somewhere, and then we drove back home and we stopped at Baby A's on Barton Springs and celebrated with purples or blues or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it was, and then nobody ever saw or cared. We thought it was one of those things where you do it and you think like, all right, well, we've made it now, we're big time.
I mean, you saying that was me going, whoa, that's awesome. And I think if you were to tell anyone else, they would just go, they interviewed who on what?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Let's get Leo Laporte going.
Oh, God. I haven't thought of, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, man.
That was like one time we talked about Sway from MTV coming to visit us, and we did a few things with MTV back in the day. And I remember this one point we made a PSA for MTV for some reason, and they aired it prime time on TRL.
Yeah.
Carson Daly, I think,
Yeah.
actually presented it. And we were so fucking excited. I think we bought extra server space
did.
because we were ready for like an influx.
We've like got more bandwidth for the servers and everything.
And that I learned a valuable lesson that day. That I remember watching it in my living room and then going to the computer to see, and it was crickets.
Yeah. It was like any other day.
Virtual
There was
tumbleweeds.
there
And
was-
you're like, oh, this doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
Had
anything.
zero impact.
Zero
we made
impact.
quite a few videos for MTV
We did.
around that time.
Yeah.
Like just little bumpers, and MTV2 also. I don't even know why. And that had no
'Cause we got
effect on
paid?
anything. I don't know that we did.
I think we might have.
Maybe a little bit. It's funny how many, like in those early days, like the hustle, like just how many little projects, I mean, not that that's a little project, but how many like weird projects you take on just to try to make a little more money and see what sticks and see what happens. There was one year where we made a bunch of videos for the NCAA for them to play in college football stadiums when plays happened on the field. Yeah, we would stockpile a bunch of different possibilities of teams in different scenarios in NCAA college football, and then if the scenario happened on the field, they could play like a quote unquote replay that we had previously captured in the
It was like a
game.
6-second interstitial.
It's genius.
We did.
It's fucking
dude,
genius.
It was genius.
That's genius.
Except it was thousands of shots.
It was.
Sounds like hell.
I remember.
It was hell.
So Gavin was a big part of this too because he was interning that summer with us, and we played NCAA football for 3 weeks, like 15 hours a day. We turned in, I want to say, 1,600 videos,
And then
and they were all 4 to 6 seconds long.
On
And
t-
it was. Sorry, go ahead.
on top of that, do you remember there was another project going
Yes.
on simultaneously?
Was that
The Mountain Dew thing?
Yeah.
So we had to film those 1,600 videos or whatever for NCAA. And then on top of that, there was this promotion that I want to say it was Mountain Dew was doing at the time, where you like unscrew your top and there's a code and you put it on the website. And if you like it would show you like a replay of a video game, like a football game. And if like if the replay you watched scored a touchdown or scored whatever, then you won a prize. So we had to make another couple thousand of those videos of getting close to scoring and not scoring, getting shut down immediately. So we had like these giant spreadsheets that we printed out, and you would hand someone a stack of paper and be like, "This is the 300 shots you need to get today."
Yeah. And it was like we had to go through. I don't remember that one as well, but I remember very well the NCAA when we were doing for the initial 1,600 whatever. They basically took like every major college football team. So I don't know, Clemson. Right. And you would say, okay, if Clemson and you'd have a shot list. You go, I need Clemson to score from the goal line. I need them to pass a 40-yard touchdown or longer. I need them to run for a touchdown. I need them to run and get stopped on the 2-yard line. You had like 12 different scenarios, and you just had to film over and over and over again for every team. It was the most mind-numbing thing.
And it's not like you could set it up and trigger it.
You have to play
the game. Exactly what I was about to bring up. That like people are just like, oh man, that's like a lot of videos. If you don't play sports games, those are like so specialized moments that happen a lot in a game, but not when you need them to.
And you can't live film it, so you have to shoot it and then go into theater mode.
You have to go into the replay
in
of
the NCAA replay mode, and then cam it that way, and then with fucking keyframes and shit, and then
I forgot about that.
And then do the next setup, and like, okay, now we gotta now you score real fast so that we can be back on the 5, and then like, don't tackle me, let me run to the 10-yard line. You're like, and all we could do is fuck with sliders. We don't have special versions of we have early versions of the game.
And then I don't remember this. Like, let's say you were trying to set up a game. Like Geoff and I are playing against each other to set this game up. Yeah. Geoff has the ball. You're like, don't tackle me. I need to get to the 10-yard line. So my job would be to take control of whatever NPC is closest to him, trying to stop him and move them all away. So it's like just trying to constantly switch to the closest player and run them in the opposite direction to try to get the play set up. That was so much work.
That was hard work, man.
That's a lot of work. You're talking about that. It's an MTV thing. It's a Mountain Dew thing. It's a college football thing. It's a lot of like banner pieces, right? Those aren't, I feel like, those aren't worth it in the way that people think they're going to be worth it. Like those are things that you can put on a company resume to be like, we've done work with the NCAA and Mountain Dew and MTV and all of this stuff, but no one is. That's to hopefully build credibility like down the road, right?
And for the record, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it was, just to be clear, I don't think it was directly for the NCAA. It might have been for ESPN. Or like it was like a separate company.
Yeah, it was for ESPN or an ad agency or something.
Yeah, that's like we weren't working directly with them. It was like through an intermediary.
We did do some stuff specifically for ESPN though, because I remember somebody had to get on a plane and hand deliver a hard drive.
Right. It was like we were working on it till the last minute. And we got to a point where we can either upload this now or we can work on it a little longer and take it on a hard drive up to Connecticut and deliver it to ESPN tomorrow.
Who delivered
it? Was Brandon.
It was Brandon.
We put Brandon on a plane with a hard drive to ESPN to turn it in. Yeah, that's all he did. He flew to Connecticut, showed up to ESPN, dropped off a hard drive, then went back to the airport and flew back to Austin.
This is like 2008 maybe? Would have been downtown.
Yeah.
2009. And that's not the work we were doing. We talked about it, but I guess we didn't have podcasts back then. But that's I think the stuff that people didn't see that we were doing almost since day one. Like, I remember the first commercial project we did, to my recollection, you might remember differently, was those Xbox kiosk videos we did. Yeah. And those came to us by around episode 6 of Red vs. Blue.
Early,
6 or 7, Microsoft hired us to make little interstitial videos for all of the kiosks at all of the the Walmarts and Targets and Best Buys in America. And so we would have to I remember we had to do a top spin one.
There was also that flying Crimson Skies.
So whatever hot games there were, we had to come up with a 30-second funny video that would play between the demos. And I remember that because it was the first work we did, and it was super informational or informative, because we learned very quickly, not every video game is Halo. We can't recreate what we're doing in other games. It was the first time I realized how difficult Machinima was, or what a perfect storm Halo was in the way that it allowed us to film and tell a story. And boy, we butted our heads against that until I gave up on my shit.
I remember those projects because I got all the sellout marketing lines. It was always my job to deliver those.
Yeah, we always did that.
I was like, man, I can't keep doing this.
It was all. Bernie loved to do that to you.
I know.
It was his way of fucking with you. And he was super. He was super laughing the whole time he was doing it too.
God, it would be like mouthfuls of marketing material.
I remember those because my mom would go to the Walmart in Mobile, Alabama, and stand there. And anytime somebody walked up, she'd go, "My son made that."
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. And then I want to say right around then we started doing corporate videos
Oh yeah,
for like Bill Gates is giving a conference. It's some developers thing.
Steve Ballmer as well.
Steve
Yeah.
Ballmer, whoever. We need you to do like these 3-minute videos. We did a bunch of those. Then we got the GameStop Managers Conference videos.
Yeah.
And we did those for many years. And then by the end of season 1 of Red vs. Blue, I want to say season 1 of Red vs. Blue was 20 episodes?
No,
18?
19, I think.
19 or 20 episodes. And I want to say by the time we put that DVD out, we had probably made 40 commercial videos at that point. And we were making them like 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably went that way for a decade.
We also made the Bare Naked Ladies videos that they would show at their concerts.
At their concerts. That
Yeah.
was wild. That was when we became friends with Ed and those guys.
But yeah, it was some of those videos, like you kind of hinted to, it'd be like, yeah, we're going to show this video on screen, and then Bill Gates is going to come out and give a speech.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like, we have a signed copy of Halo 2 signed by Bill Gates because of one of those videos.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We have this 24 by 36 poster of Halo 2, and Bill Gates signed it in like 10-point type. It was like, I don't even know if we still have it. It was around. It was in our office for years. It was a super interesting time for us because we had that great relationship with Microsoft, but also going to when like we got the call from the ad agency and said, we heard you guys.
Are you the guys who get paid to play video games?
Yeah, you guys are the guys that play video games for it. We were the only game in town, so we got so many gigs because we were the only people that knew how to do it and that were set up to do it. And it became this balance that we fought internally about a lot and we struggled with, which was how to take on enough work, when to say no, and when to prioritize our own IP. And that was a lot of what we were trying to do in that, because we were getting burned out. Like that era where we were doing we did a bunch of Mountain Dew shit. It wasn't just that. Remember when we did the Mountain Dew video, or it might have been that period where we had to say 5,000 different names? We had to record.
Oh, yeah. It was the same project, I think, yeah.
Yeah, because like it said the person's names, like Carl, Mike, Steve. And so we had to record, I think.
What said the person's name?
When the website, when they would redeem the code and they would see like the play.
Why?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But I think my ex-wife had to read them all.
Yeah, it was.
That's insane.
It was, dude, it was so much work.
And we looked at, we were like, we're sick of working in other people's intellectual property. We were already having this problem with RVB. Like, we loved RVB, but Microsoft owned it. It wasn't ours. And that was all super informative. That burnout era when we were doing that was, by the way, when we were doing the NCAA stuff, that 1,600 videos, the Mountain Dew stuff, that was also the exact same time Gus and I were going out to California and Oregon for 2-3 weeks at a time doing commercial gigs. And we were still making Red vs. Blue, like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and all that other stuff.
I joke, there's if you look, there's like photos of me around that time period where I have really long hair. And people will ask me like, why did you let your hair get that long? I was like, I had no time to get a haircut. Like not an exaggeration. Like there was no free time. Like for a year and a half, I couldn't cut my hair. Every waking hour was doing something.
I got so burned out at that point, I turned physically gray for a couple weeks, and I went to the doctor. Like my wife and at the time and Bernie were both like, you got to go to the doctor. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, hey, you're just tired, man. And I'm like, but I'm physically gray. And he's like, yeah, it's weird, but you just need to get some sleep. But it was super informative because we were getting burned out and the money was good, but nobody wanted to do that forever. And so it really helped push us in the direction of Achievement Hunter, Ruby, Gus starting podcasts in the broadcast department, like really trying to create our own IP that we would own, and so that we didn't have to work on other people's shit as much.
Getting notes from someone about.
Oh, you're not getting noted to death. But also, you if you're going to put your work into something, you might as well put it into your thing.
Yeah.
If you have the luxury.
When we were doing all that, there was a period of time where we were not video game developers, and there was a period of time where we had a bunch of game console development kits, and like a large part of my job became learning how to manage all of these developer kits, how to push out like firmwares to them, how to manage like the network of all of this. And like when we would do these trips to, and I would meet a game developer, I'd be like, hey, how does this thing, let me ask you a quick question. How do you do this? Or how does this thing work? And they would tell me like, oh, okay, cool. Then I'd like go back to work and like try to implement the things I was learning little by little on our like network of game development consoles, because that's what you talked about, like having to keyframe all that stuff in the football games. Like you can't do that. The stuff we were doing, you couldn't do in retail copies of the game. We were getting like development bills and running them on development hardware, and it was just like a nightmare to keep all that stuff straight.
And the tools were never the tools you would think. Like they weren't the tools you would build to do the job. They were like, well, this is what we have. Make it work. And you'd kind of figure it out. Because they weren't conceiving of the need of those tools back then. Or they were just starting to, Yeah. I think Forge probably changed a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure.
In Halo.
And it definitely took it to where also it put it in the hands of the player. Like it made it in a much more accessible way. It was, some of those games, it was like, oh yeah, you can't put a new keyframe behind an old keyframe. If you do that, the game will crash. So it's like if you want to put a new keyframe back there in the timeline, you need to delete every keyframe back to that point, put a new one, and then redo all of your new ones.
God damn,
you remember that?
I didn't until that moment. Oh, that was, yeah.
It was like a lot of weird work because they intended it for video game developers, people who like understood the system and knew how it worked. It was not user friendly at all.
So when I bought my house here, I'm gonna switch gears for a second. When I bought my house here, it's like 2 miles down the road. I was still working at the call center. That's how I met Bernie. Was I bought the house, and we had a housewarming party. And I'll never forget this because I bought a keg and it was on my little back porch. And for some reason, one of the dudes, and all of my friends in Austin at this point worked at the call center. It was Gus and everybody else who we hung out with at the call center. And one of the dudes at the call center took the keg and he just took the spigot and like just sprayed it on the sliding glass door, just like in a arc for a second. And I don't know why. And my first wife at the time saw it and swung that door open and went out and started screaming at him. And if you knew her, this was totally
terrifying.
Terrifying. She was 4'11", but she was like 7.5 feet tall when she was mad. I've never seen anything like it. And threw him out. Oh my God. And then that night, everybody became scared of her, and I never got anybody to my house again. Oh, no. Except for Gus.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like she scared off any potential friends I had from that point on.
Yeah, I don't remember spending a lot of time at that house. Like I know what you're talking about, where you had the keg out there, but that house had like a back patio that I don't think I ever went on to.
Yeah.
I think it was like right off the master.
It was useless.
Yeah, and it would just immediately butted up to the fence.
It was a plot. It was like a little wedge of concrete that was 3 feet by 2 feet, and then it hit a wall, and it was just like concrete and then a fence. It was absolutely useless. I put a pot out there once with a plant, and it died instantly, and then I never went back out there. The craziest thing that ever happened to me, and I don't know if you were living with me at the time or if you even remember this, I was going home from work one day, 5:30 in the afternoon, and that street was shut down by cops, and I couldn't get on that street. And so I stopped, and I went and I talked to a cop, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, we're chasing, we got a escape felon, or like we're in pursuit of somebody, and we've got him pinned down to this neighborhood. And I go, oh wow, that's weird. I live here. Can I just go home? And he's like, no, I can't let anybody in right now. And he goes, which one's your house? And I go, it's that one, the third one. And he goes, yeah, that's where he is. He had crawled under my deck. And they had a police helicopter for a while. He had crawled under my deck, and I didn't see any of this, but apparently they had to crawl in after him and pull him out from under my deck.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and I couldn't go home for like 3 hours that day. And then eventually they got him out from under my deck, and then I was able to resume my life.
Why wouldn't he just come out? What's his plan at that point? Is he just going to live under the deck?
I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't a big deck, and it was just a bunch of PVC pipes and spiders under there.
And a felon.
And a felon. It's not a place to start a life, for sure.
So stop me if you don't want me to tell this story. You talking about a felon reminds me about something.
Okay.
There was something Geoff used to do when I first met him that I thought was simultaneously evil and genius at the same time. If someone cut him off on traffic, or like someone wronged him in public. Is this an okay story to tell?
Is there a way we can bleep this?
Okay.
No, it's a great story. Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly, I did this.
You can't prove it.
Allegedly.
If someone wronged him or cut him off or whatever, Geoff would write down their license plate number.
We'll wait a month.
And then he'd wait, and then he'd go to like a payphone. But payphones were still around back then. And he'd call the police. And he'd be like, hey, listen, I'm a parent. I was out at a playground. I saw this car. It looked suspicious. I don't know. Maybe they had a camera. They were taking photos of the kids.
They just kept driving by real slow. I went to approach them, and they sped off.
And I got their license plate number. I don't know if there's anything you can do. I just want you to have it, just in case it comes up again in the future. And I thought, like, that is some diabolical stuff. And it's so fucking smart.
That's unreal.
Is that something we can tell?
I don't know if that's something we can tell.
It was a different time. It was a different world, and I don't think anybody should do that. I don't think it's funny now. I don't think it's right. I don't condone it. I was a dumb kid from a dumb place. It took me a long time to evolve.
We're just stupid dirt people.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a dirt grub.
Yeah.
I grew up in bumfuck Alabama. I was born in a trailer. Like, I spent the first 2 years of my life in the middle of nowhere, bumfuck Alabama, in a trailer, eating potatoes because that was all my mom could afford. Like, we only ate potatoes. Like, it was, I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here right now. And it's only by extreme luck that I am. And I don't recommend anybody do anything I did.
I think we give that caveat a lot. Like, we can look back on it just like stealing the bottles. Not stealing, taking the bottles of Chianti.
Reappropriating.
Yeah, it's like things that were obviously wrong and that shouldn't have been done, but that it's like you're a different person. It's a different mindset.
By the way, can I just point out too? But we told that story about stealing appropriating the bottles of Chianti. I did apologize to the guy later, and he had no idea what I was talking about.
No, of course not.
He was like, "What? Oh, no, yeah, they're yours, man. Take them, whatever. I don't drink." He didn't drink anyway.
Yeah, totally fine.
They were just ornamental,
He was also our friend.
and they tasted like shit.
of course.
It took forever to get through those bottles.
Yeah.
We did, but yeah.
Oh, so something came up in the news here in Austin recently that I think is relevant to this podcast. There's that McDonald's over on like Barton Springs and Lamar that's closing.
Yeah, I saw it was all fenced up. The one by Peter Pan?
Yeah, and I think maybe in the entire time I've lived in Austin, I went maybe twice to that McDonald's. However, that being said, a couple episodes ago we talked about how I would go to Barton Springs like on Tuesday or Wednesday in the morning, and I just hang out there. And one of those days I remember, like I left Barton Springs, and for some reason I stopped at that McDonald's, and I went in to get a Big Mac or whatever. And I placed my order, and I was waiting for my order, and my cell phone rang. This is when cell phones were brand new, like my big old Qualcomm Prime Co phone rang, and it was Geoff who was calling me. And I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, this is back when we were doing Ugly Internet.
Okay.
And Geoff was like, hey, we got contacted by this ad network, and they want to run ads on our website. And, we can finally make money on the internet. And I was like, holy crap, like that's a really big deal.
Yeah.
We were both really excited about it. And every time I drive by that McDonald's, I think about how, like, that's the first moment where I talk to someone where it's like, hey, you can make money on the internet.
It was the Blah Blah network. They were like purveyors of all the EN sites back then, which was, I think, called for Everything Nothing. It was like before vlogs. And we got one check from them for $16.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
and then right after that, they went under or something.
Yeah.
But I am proud to say I would be hard-pressed to locate it today, but I still have the check. Wow. I never cashed it because it was $16.
Yeah, we were like, what do we do, get a pizza? I mean,
So it was more like this is our dollar we put up like in our bar, our first dollar made. And I know the bag, I just don't know where the bag is. But I still have to this day that check from, I don't know, 2001?
maybe 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. Yeah.
The first $16 we ever made.
And now that McDonald's getting torn down, probably to have condos built there.
Definitely condos or apartments.
Yeah.
Right there, next to the Peter Pan and the loudest train that goes through Austin. That train is so loud and so slow and so long.
And they built so many condos right next to the train track right there.
So many condos.
I lived downtown in a condo for 2 years, like at 5th and Bowie. Well, in a place called the Bowie. And I faced that train where it makes the turn. And the turn right there around Seaholm is where the squeal happens.
Yeah.
And it would wake me up at like 4 a.m. And I'd be like, I was on like the 30-something floor, and you would hear like, and you'd be like, I'm up. What? Oh, fuck, it's the train. Back to sleep. It was brutal. I don't know how anybody that lives downtown sleeps
I
through
like that audio
Yeah.
texture.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's some good Foley work you got going on there. There was this one woman in Oklahoma whose internet did not work. And this is a one-time call. She was not a recurring character. But she called and she was complaining that her internet was down, and she told the rep, "My family got to the Kennedys. Don't think we can't get to you."
Yeah. Yeah. She was. I remember that.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's like real psychotic stuff.
Oh my God.
There was another customer we had who would tell us they were going to send the black helicopters after us, and we wouldn't know till it was too late.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're like, "But you keep looking up because they're coming." Wow. Yeah. We had a lot of
Drugs and mental illness.
This kid we used to work with named Andrew, he was I don't know if I told the story about our friend who was a professional soccer player in Germany who got his back broken. He tried to stop at a Tejano bar one day after work to get a drink. It's like a block away.
Yeah, right down the road over here.
And the guy wouldn't let him in. The guy at the door wouldn't let him in. It's like 6 o'clock on a Thursday. He's like, "I'm 21. He showed him his ID. He's like, "Yeah, it's not for you." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You can't come in."
Yeah, this place
He's
is
like,
not
"I just
for
want to
you."
buy one beer." And he's like, "This is not for you. You need to leave." And like wouldn't let him in. And so it's an improvement from that.
So I wanted to, we sat down and listed a bunch of coffee shops all around town, and I wanted to find another coffee shop down here south of the river in the Old Torf area because we've spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
But I wanted to find another one down here, down south, because we spent a lot of time here. There are not a lot of coffee shops off of Old Torf. Off of the Old Torf area, we found this Creme Coffee. Is that
Cafe Crema.
Cafe Cremo.
It's funny. I've driven.
Yeah.
I've driven up and down Parker hundreds, if not thousands of times, but I've never turned down this street. I've never set foot into this park.
And it's still a lot like, Gus and I lived over here. This was where we worked and lived for the first 5 years we were friends, probably. So we're intimately versed with this part of town.
Not this park, though.
Not this park, though. But it is simultaneously like stuck in time. Like I'm driving back into 1999 and we're about to go to work at Telenetwork.
Yeah.
And also, it's, believe it or not, a lot nicer.
Yeah,
Even though it's not nice, it
there's
is nicer. Do you remember if you go down the hill and you go back up the hill,
over at Burleson over there,
going left on going east on Old Torf?
Okay.
You go down Old Torf. You go down the hill.
Yeah.
It's where you take a left onto Pleasant Valley to go back to where like J. Ray and those guys lived. And then there didn't used to be a right. Now you can take a right.
Yeah.
And there's a whole ass street that goes to the right.
It's still Pleasant Valley.
But if you go up the hill a little bit on the left, like maybe about halfway up the hill before you crest it, there are like two little apartments, or like fourplexes.
I spent Y2K over there.
Well, that's a story I'd like to hear. Do you remember a couple years after RT started, but before maybe it took off? Well, I guess it took off pretty quickly, but somewhere in that area when we were still familiar with this part of town, do you remember when that guy had that huge party on their back deck and it was a homemade back deck that wasn't safe?
Yeah.
And it collapsed and like 40 people fell?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, people got fucked up.
I felt like there was a rash of that around that time in Austin where people had... You can have mine. You can have my coffee. People had like homemade decks that collapsed and like lots of people got injured and or died. Our servers for Rooster Teeth used to be right down the road down there on Old Torf. Like if you kept going...
Where?
Kept going down Old Torf to where it intersects Montopolis. At the southwest corner of that intersection, there's like a nondescript office park, and there's actually a bunch of co-location facilities in that office park.
Where T&I used to be?
Yeah. Like 3 doors down from there. That's why T&I was there, was because all the co-location. Like it's like a hub for telecommunications.
I guess I didn't realize we were co-locating there at the same time.
Yeah.
I probably knew that.
Our servers initially when we started were kind of spread over. Then we had them in Sacramento for a long time. Then over the course of a weekend, I had to migrate them to Austin. So I flew to Sacramento, loaded them up in a SUV, and then drove them all back to Austin and installed them down here at Old Torf and Montopolis.
You talked about that intersection of Old Torf and Montopolis where Old Torf tees into Montopolis right there. Do you remember that there was a little house right there that got raided because it was an illegal casino?
What?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hang on, what?
They had I remember seeing pictures in the paper. They had it was a fucking ramshackle little house, but they had backgammon and shit. And I want to say they had roulette.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a little casino operating, kind of like that Game Night movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except with money.
And probably unsavory sorts.
Probably not
I would
funny
imagine.
and
So you were saying you went up and down Parker a million times.
Yeah,
but you'd never been to this park.
I lived over here. I'm sure you remember the slanted apartment I lived in was right down here off of Royal Crest, just down over here. And I used to take this all the time to come. Either I'd go this way or like a next block over to get down to the call center, which is just south of here. And I've never turned back here. There's a lot of little houses and stuff. And it's oddly enough, every house has a sign that says private drive. I wonder if they have like a problem with people parking in their driveways.
So anyway, maybe you can help me because I when I was buying my first house over here, because the first house I bought
was east of here.
And I remember house shopping, and then after I bought the house, I drove around here a little bit too. And I remember somewhere in this vicinity there was a big old white mansion that was like on like what must have been like 6 acres of land. It had huge. It reminds me actually of a place, kind of an old infield.
Yeah.
And it was like so out of place and so nice and so fancy. And I always thought like, man, like those guys are just holding on till the neighborhood comes back, I guess. Probably lived here forever. And I tried to drive by and check it out during the pandemic and see how like whatever happened to that place, and I can't find it.
I thought
I have Google Map. I've looked on like Google Street View to try to find it, and Google Earth to try to find it, and I can't fucking find it. So I know I'm misremembering it. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I want to say it's in one of two locations. It was either right here off of Parker, like just a little north of here, on the west side.
Yeah.
Or it was down off of Montopolis, north of Riverside on the west side of the street.
Yeah, well, if it was Montopolis, I missed it. That might be where maybe.
It's one of those two. I can vaguely picture the place you're talking about. But yeah, they probably gave up. They probably sold it and made a bunch of money.
I've looked for it like 3 or 4 times, and I've half convinced myself that I made it up.
No. I think I saw it.
Okay.
I saw a headline last night that I thought might be a good segue to talk about some stuff here on this podcast. I saw that, I don't know if you saw this or not, I guess Jesse Eisenberg signed on to do a movie with the Zellner brothers.
Holy shit, dude. The Zellner brothers are doing a movie with Jesse Eisenberg and a bunch of other famous people,
He's going to play Sasquatch, ?
So, are they remaking that fucking movie that they made where do you remember that?
No.
Where Bernie played a Sasquatch in a movie for them.
I don't remember that.
Back in, like, 98, maybe 99?
I do not remember that.
I'm going to look it up.
So yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. I think they're making a movie called Sasquatch, and I thought Jesse Eisenberg signed on to play Sasquatch. Nathan Zellner worked with us for years at Rooster Teeth. He was the voice of Andy the Bomb. Did a lot of our like special effects work, and
Crazy.
He was awesome working with Nathan for all those years. He was always working on these film projects with his brother David, and really had a lot of accolades. They were way more successful than we ever were. Always had films playing at Sundance, and it's just wild to see them come back up again. Making another movie about Sasquatch.
So in 2001, they made a movie called Frontier, and in that movie, I think Bernie played a Sasquatch. And then they're I love those dudes, but they're weird. Because then in 2010, they made a short called Sasquatch Birth Journal #2. And now they're making, I guess, a movie with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yep.
And do you remember who else was in it? I'm trying to look it up.
No, I don't remember this at all. Oh, you're talking about the new movie?
Yeah.
No. I just read the Jesse Eisenberg part. I think I read it like in Variety or something.
See if it's on IMDb.
I felt like there was a period of time where we obviously we worked with Nathan, and we went to Sundance a couple of times, just kind of like as oddities, with Red versus Blue and Rooster Teeth. But I felt like the Zellners and the Duplass brothers were always there.
Yeah.
The Duplasses were also from this area, and I was always like really envious of all of them because they were getting like the mainstream, not mainstream, but like the real critical accolade at these film festivals. And in fact, I think that didn't the Duplass brothers film one of their films with our HVX camera? Wasn't it Baghead?
Baghead, yeah.
Really?
Well, I remember that was so bittersweet because they borrowed all of our gear that we bought so that we could make a movie. And then they borrowed all that gear. and then they made a movie called Baghead and then sold it for $1 million at Sundance.
Oh.
And they gave us all the equipment back.
Here's your fucking camera, dipshit.
And then they went off to be they were already on the way up, but then they went off to be the fucking, Duplass brothers.
Right.
And
we
never made we didn't make that movie for a long, long time.
You had a great idea years ago when, back before Rooster Teeth, we used to always like kick around these creative ideas and projects that we wanted to make, and just, we never got around to it. This was always one of my favorites, and I think it didn't get off the ground because we have no musical talent.
Oh, boy.
But you wanted to start a band, and you wanted to call it Brother versus Brother, and you wanted it to be 2 lead singers who both pretend like they're brothers, and each song is just them talking shit about the other brother.
And then every It was basically like a parody of Oasis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was like, but every concert ends after like the second song because they just fight, and one of them walks off.
That's such a good idea.
Or they just get into like a physical
Like
altercation,
an actual brawl.
Yeah, I wanted it to be. I thought if we did it right, so funny. I'd forgotten about this until just this moment. But if we did it right, I thought we would never have to play the instruments. Like if you got it right and got the fight just right at the beginning, like in the open, like welcome, thanks for watching, coming out to Brother vs. Brother, and I wanted Dan Godwin to be in it because he was musically talented, and it just disintegrates in front of the audience immediately every time, and you never actually play a song.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think we're too old now to
Yeah.
to get up on stage and have a physical fight.
Now it'd be
anymore.
older uncle versus other older uncle.
Yeah. Family Thanksgiving. What's funny? I mean, that's all we would do. I felt like working, such uncreative jobs, such mind-numbing jobs. Like that was always our outlet. That's why we started making those websites that we talked about before. It was just like trying to find that creative outlet and trying to find a way to express yourself however possible while doing the most awful work ever.
It'd be like, all right, well, this first song, it's a song about my brother. It's called I Did Catch You Jacking Off in the Bathroom in 12th grade, and your dick is smaller than mine. And then your brother's like, I'm not playing that. I already told you I'm not playing that song. We're going to play Mom Likes Me Best. And he's like, no, I don't want to play Mom Likes Me Best. Sorry. Just
It was a great idea.
reconnecting with old. We had so much.
It's funny when you hear one of your own old ideas and you're like, oh man, that's really fun. Like it still makes you laugh. Like you still think it's a really good idea.
I have learned that the human brain is remarkably consistent. I've noticed that when I watch, on occasion, like I don't make a habit of it, but if I need to watch an old piece of Rooster Teeth content that I'm in, like an old Achievement Hunter video or something, and I get lost in the moment, I see I will, not in memory, but I'll be like, oh, I should have said that. Oh, no, I did say that. And you're like, oh, I only have like 4 jokes. Yep. But like I made that video 8 years ago, and my first thought is to make that same joke I made 8 years ago.
Why mess with success?
Why mess with the success? Or why grow as a as a talent in any way whatsoever? Just stick to the same 4 things you know.
When there are solid 4 things, you don't have to grow very much.
Hang on, real quick. You guys talked about, and I didn't realize this, we're right by the apartments that you guys met at?
Well, I wouldn't say I guess we met.
I mean, you told the story. It's like where we first really started talking and hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, I knew who he was. I think we'd said hello to each other before, but it was when he walked in and I was like, I'm going to make it. He's popular. I'm going to make friends with him.
That was the party that you were like on time to, and
No, I was an hour early.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You were an hour early, so you just waited.
It's like across the street from that Cafe Creme. I don't remember. The names have changed. We were trying to remember who lived there and specifically, and I think we remembered it. I think we got it.
Yeah, we so when we lived over here and we worked at T&I want to say T&I had at that point about 60 employees.
Sure.
And when I left, there were a couple hundred. Now there's over 1,000. But those 60 employees, they were all like, almost everybody was 22 or 23 and going to UT or Texas State, or Southwest Texas back then, I guess, or ACC, and they all, it really was like a community. Like everybody in that place was because like if you got a job there, you got your friend to work there, your friend got somebody to work there, and before you knew it,
you'd invite your friend to come rob the place.
You'd invite your friend to come rob the place, and then you guys would play all the Dreamcast games you stole. And so it really was like a kind of a community, and I feel like every apartment complex within like 3 miles of Old Torf had at least 1 or 2 T&I employees living in it. And so like by virtue of that, we all ended up in all of those apartment complex at parties.
Well, this was obviously, I mean, this was our like
hub.
And this was like, the cheapest place to live in Austin. It might still be now, but it was definitely very student focused. A lot of like working families and students all live down here. And I think that's still the case.
Yeah.
It really hasn't changed that much in that respect. And and then I think that's the reason a lot of people worked over there. It was so close. It was such a quick commute. Just hop down, go to work. I remember one time my car wouldn't start. I lived around the corner over here at those apartments, and my car wouldn't start. And back when I started at the call center, a shift was like 3 or 4 people. Like it was really small, and I had to call in my boss, and I was like, hey, I can't make it. My car's not starting. And his reply was, can't you just walk? And I was like, man, I guess I could. Like, it would take me like 45 minutes or something. He's like, all right, I'll come pick you up. Like, it really wasn't that far. It wasn't that big a
that's
deal.
crazy.
Yeah, he came and picked me up, and then I went down to work.
Damn.
But yeah, that's back when I had, I don't know if you remember, I had that old beige Isuzu Pup pickup that had no air conditioner, no radio, and it was just like this really ugly beige color, not too dissimilar from this table we're sitting at, a little lighter than this.
What came after that?
After that, I got the Cavalier, that
I
green
think
Cavalier.
I may have not known you when you had that truck. I don't remember.
That truck had that truck had like 300,000 miles on it. I think it was a 1986 Isuzu Pup, and it was a manual transmission and had this really bad habit where if you were not very crisp in your shifting, like if you tried to kind of go in a straight line between second and third, the gearbox would just jam up, and you'd have to like get under the truck and like smash the gearbox,
No shit.
with like a wrench to get it to loosen up, and then you could shift again. Anyway, I remember one time I was driving here on Old Torp, I was coming out towards 35, and the truck died. And I was like, oh no. And it was like 5 o'clock, like rush hour was, just kicking off. And I looked in the mirror behind me, and the road was actually empty behind me. And it was, stacked up in front of me, really full. I was like, I wonder if I can pop the clutch in reverse. So I let off the brake, put the clutch in. The truck started rolling slowly backwards down a hill. I put it into reverse, and I popped it, and it started. I was like, oh my God, you can totally pop a clutch in reverse. And I pulled into the Luby's that was right over here. And right as I pulled into the Luby's, it died again, and I had to like let it coast into a parking spot and parked it, and then like had to figure out like how to fix my fucking truck that wouldn't work anymore.
Oh my God.
I feel like your early 20s, it's just a series of car problems, one after the other, until you, I don't know, become good enough at fixing cars or make enough money to buy a car that doesn't need to be fixed every 15 minutes. I feel like a lot of our lives revolved around cars back then and fixing cars. Do you remember that for some reason that jogged my memory of one of the smartest people doing the dumbest things
Oh, I already know. God.
I have ever seen in my life?
Yeah.
We worked with a guy named George. And George was easily one of the most intelligent people I've ever met to this day. And I saw him a few years ago, and he's still just like incredibly impressive as a human being. Really, really smart dude from Houston. And he was in cars briefly. But the biggest thing George was into was saving money.
Yeah.
Like George read he read The Millionaire Next Door.
Yeah.
And it changed his life. And he decided he was going to live that life. And to my knowledge, he did. Like I think he's very successful. I think he became the millionaire next door. I would be very surprised to find out he wasn't.
He was very focused. Like, for example, if we went out to get lunch at a Subway, he would order a footlong. He didn't want to eat the footlong. He would eat 6 inches, then he'd wrap up the other 6 inches and save that for dinner.
Because the company paid for lunch.
Right.
So he would get a free dinner out of it.
So it was like lots of like what you would call like life hacks and like ways to like try to maximize your dollar.
Life hack.
And I would bet good money that George is probably more successful financially and better off than Gus and I.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably put together.
Absolutely.
Even with all of our Rooster Teeth success and, despite my many divorces, even without that, I think George is probably still doing better than us. But one of the ways he wanted to save money was he decided he was going to change his own oil. Because how hard can that be?
Right.
So he changed his oil in the T&I parking lot. I think it was like I want to say it was like an Acura Integra he had maybe.
I don't remember.
Or was it a Supra?
I
Might have been an old Toyota Supra.
I don't remember what kind of car it was.
Anyway, it was like a kind of a racy little car. And he came in pain and covered in oil. And we're like, what's going on? What happened, George? George, he was like, how hard could it be? It's before YouTube, so he probably just like Google or Yahoo'd some explanation on how to do it, and decided that he was going to do like change the oil with the parts that he had in front of him.
And what he had just driven to work.
Just driven to work.
Oh.
Just driven to work.
Important detail.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to forget that. Just driven to work. So what George did was George realized he needed some sort of a pan to catch the oil in, but he couldn't find one, so he just grabbed a plastic like
grocery bag.
What?
And held that up to catch the oil. So the car was hot because he'd just driven to work. So what happened was when he popped the plug and put up the trash bag, the oil immediately burned through it and just coated him in hot
oil,
sticky, burning oil. And I don't think he got like seriously burned,
no.
but it ruined his day and it made our year. I think here we are 20 years later, still telling that story. Like, once again, one of the smartest people I've ever met did easily one of the dumbest things I've ever seen that I can't imagine. I don't know how he got there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all makes sense. It does all make sense until until the oil's hot.
Until
if he
the
had
oil's
waited till
hot.
the end of his shift,
Yep.
maybe it would have been fine.
Yeah, he was just too enthusiastic.
Yeah, he just wanted to get it knocked out, start the day. You talk about having, car trouble and dealing with cars. I don't know if you're still this way, but to this day, anytime I'm driving down a road and there's construction and, they have the shoulders closed, I get nervous. I'm like, oh man, what if my car dies right here? Where am I going to go? There's nowhere to pull over. Because for a long time, 35 right around here was like that, especially just south of here, going over towards Ben White. And it was always a nightmare. It was always a fear of mine that my car was going to break down and I was going to be stuck on 35, on a highway with no way to get off of the road.
It occupied I guess most people, this is the case in your early 20s, but it occupied so much of our lives. Just dealing with shitty cars, saving up money, having to buy a $10 used tire because I popped a fucking tire and it's all I could afford, knowing that tire wasn't going to last me more than another fucking month.
Do you remember the abandoned car at the T&I parking lot? The sticker car?
Whose car was that?
I think it... Can I say?
I mean, say a first
We can
name.
cut it out if we have to.
Say a first name.
I think it was John, but there was this car that nobody took ownership of. Just one day in the parking lot of the call center, there was a car that didn't move. It was obviously broken down, and it was there, all told, before the car finally left. It was there for probably close to 10 years, but it became the sticker car.
Yeah.
And anytime you had a sticker, you would put it on the car.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it got to the point where it was more sticker than car. It
Yeah.
was just like this abandoned car that was covered in every band sticker, every just like bumper sticker, any sticker
Every
you had.
AOL sticker, anything.
For the
Yeah.
longest time, the windshield was respected. No one covered the windshield in the offhand chance that someone was going to come and get that car.
Right.
After a few years, it was like all bets are off. Even the windshield was just like covered in stickers. And I think eventually, years later, we found out whose car it was, and he was just like, "Yeah, it didn't work. It was going to take more money than." It was worth to fix it, so it's like, just left it there, just abandoned it.
Jesus.
Can we talk about the code we have? Or should we keep that secret?
Keep that secret.
Okay.
Yeah. But that guy, John, I don't know if you remember this. He had...
Good guy. We liked him a lot.
Yeah, I like John a lot. He had his brilliant idea. He worked at the call center. He's like, I'm going to make a lot of money. I've got this brilliant idea that no one's thought of before. What's your idea, John? I'm going to make a porn website.
What?
And...
What?
His idea was that not that he was going to act in porn or anything, but that he was going to be like a porn middleman. That he was going to make a website and license porn, and then let people watch porn on this website, and he would run ads on it, and it was going to make him a millionaire. He said he'd already bought the domain for it and everything. He was ready to go. I was like, he was very proud of it. I'll double check. I don't know if he owns it anymore or not. I was like, what's your website going to be, John? Smutwarehouse.com.
Oh, I forgot.
That sounds like a Rooster Teeth joke. That sounds like something you guys would put into a video. Are you fucking kidding me?
He was so proud. He's like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna make so much money with Smut Warehouse.
Man, that was a great time to work in a tech company because, it was kind of the Wild West. We talk about it a lot with how, it's how Rooster Teeth was formed, obviously. But there were so many people with so many, everybody knew just enough about technology who worked there to be dangerous with it. And there were so many people with so many half-baked crackpot ideas that they were so sure were going to take off. It was fun. It was fun because to watch everybody spin up and then spin down very quickly their ideas.
Yeah, I don't think he ever did anything with it. I think he bought it back then. Websites cost like $70 a year to register, so it's like a lot of fucking money. So I don't know that he ever did anything with it. I should look real fast.
You're gonna look it up? Yeah, you're gonna.
I'm gonna go to
look it up.
smutwarehouse.com
All
on my iPad and see.
While he's
Live play-by-play. This is good.
While he's talking about that, I'll say that we talk about the car stuff.
Yeah.
So I grew up like a dirt poor kid in Alabama.
Right.
And I grew up in a very, I would say, traditional Southern family where
Website can't be found.
you make the most out of what you have.
Right.
You fix everything yourself. So anytime I would have a car problem, I would call my grandpa, and my grandpa would go, bring it on down, we'll fix it. And so it was great because I got to bond with my grandfather, but I spent almost every weekend and half my days after school, most of my teenage years, fixing cars, just trying to get them operational so that I could go to school or whatever, or help my grandpa change out a tire in his truck or whatever, or the brakes or rotors or fucking and I hated it. I learned, and I learned very quickly that wasn't the life I wanted, working on stuff. And so to me, success was it. I will know I've made it when I have a car that I don't have to fix.
Yeah.
That just works.
Yeah.
And that was my benchmark for success in life, was just getting a car that worked.
I think that's a big one.
We fucking nailed it. We got there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When talking about early cars, that Isuzu Pup that I had, my parents gave it to me when I was like 17. I remember they gave it to me, and I didn't have much either as a kid. I was very grateful for it. I got into the cab for the first time and saw it was a manual transmission. I was like, my dad was there. I was like, but I don't know how to drive a manual transmission. He just looked at me and said, "You'll learn," and then turned around and walked off.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, got it. Thanks, Dad.
Wow.
We are a lot nicer to our kids than our parents were to us generationally, and I wondered if it was a mistake because you figured it out, right?
I did.
You figured the
knew.
fuck
It was
out.
like, all right, I'm going to spend lots of time in our neighborhood driving around the block, figuring out how to drive this fucking truck so that we can go to the Burger King and get a Whopper.
Yeah, like my grandpa, like he literally taught my mom and my aunt and my uncle how to swim by throwing them in the water.
Yeah.
And just been like, you're not going to drown.
Yeah.
And if you do, then we have to cook less.
I learned to drive stick in a parking lot, in like a community college parking lot. That day, I bought the car off my friend and then drove it from San Diego to Anaheim, like within an hour of learning how to drive stick, which was fine on the freeway.
Yeah, what's going to be where you're set?
Until you get about halfway there and you realize I'm going to have to exit, and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I about to do? But that was, I mean,
You made it.
you made it.
Yeah. I drove that Isuzu Pup down to Houston one time. It was Frank was living in Houston at the time, and I was going to go down and visit him. One of my other friends from high school, Ruben, was up here visiting me in Austin, and so Ruben.
How's
came
Ruben
up.
doing?
He's good. He's good. He came up. We were at the apartment over here, actually, right off Riverside, and then we were going to drive. He came up like on one day. He spent the night. Then the next morning, we woke up early. We were going to drive down to Houston, and Ruben did not know how to drive a stick, so I had to I had to drive down to Houston. And we were tired. Like, we'd stayed up late drinking or shooting the shit or whatever. And I was really tired. We were taking 71 down to I-10 to get to Houston. And, like, on the other side of Bastrop on 71, I was like, Ruben, I can't keep my eyes open. I cannot stay awake. I'm falling asleep here. I was like, can you drive? And he's like, no, I don't know how to drive a stick. I can't drive the truck. And I said, okay, here's what. I'll make you a deal. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm going to close my eyes and take a quick nap. I'll leave my feet on the pedals. You reach over from the passenger seat and hold the steering wheel, and you drive while I take a nap. He's like, yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
What? What?
So I put my head down, and I start dozing off, and I fall asleep for just like, I don't know, a few seconds.
What?
Then I like open my eyes, I look up, and I look over at Ruben, and his hand's on the wheel, but his head's back, and he's snoring. And he's asleep too. And I was like, Ruben, what are you doing? And he woke up. I didn't.
Ruben, no, our perfect system.
We should have died. We should have fucking died.
Ruben, how could you do this?
How could you betray me? You were supposed to stay awake.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did not trust him to drive from the passenger seat ananymore after
I
that.
don't trust you to drive in the driver's seat.
Oh,
Ay.
that was a bad choice.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
We're talking about these T&I days, right? And we're in the vicinity for sure. Which, by the way, we talk about this all the time. We could have episodes and episodes of just tech support stories and just like shenanigans at T&I. But I'm going to see if you can help me remember something real fast.
It was down, either on this street or down off of Montopolis.
You don't know what I'm going to ask yet. Do you remember the sequence of events or the conversation? How did we start? Because you and I started making stuff almost immediately.
Yeah.
And then we had been going for a while. We were on our second website together and probably our 20th idea. Because Gus and I had a lot of ideas that we tried to spin up that didn't go anywhere,
Yeah, of
right?
course, yeah.
So at this point, like, Ugly Internet had its entire life cycle. It died. We created Drunk Gamers. Drunk Gamers was on its way. At what point did Bernie start working with us?
It was with Drunk Gamers.
It was with Drunk Gamers.
Yeah.
I remember it was around Halo, but like, had we been going for a while?
No, it was early in
Had
the
it
Drunk
been
Gamers.
like
I
day
think
one? It wasn't day one.
It was very close to day one. Like, we had spun Ugly Internet down, and then we were starting up this next project with Drunk Gamers. And I think he had seen us make stuff already in the past. And I think he was trying to get in. He wanted to join in early with the Drunk Gamers stuff. So it was really early. And that's why we divided consoles up. That he used to do all the Xbox stuff, I would do all the PS2 stuff, and you would do all the GameCube stuff. So it was really early on in the Drunk Gamers cycle
I do remember that.
he got involved in.
Because I remember, like, The first couple events we did, Conkers, Onimusha, he wasn't involved in any of that.
Correct. That was like building content up to start. Like
Okay.
that was all of our really like very first stuff. I don't think he was there. Like
was he?
I think we didn't have a website at that point. I think we were just starting to make the content. And then I think so he probably didn't see that because we were doing that like at our houses. I think once he saw us working on it at the call centers when he wanted to become involved.
You know what always drove me crazy about him back then? He was always so critical of my website design. He always hated. Do you remember when I made the Drunk Gamers?
Dude,
They had the Donkey Kong.
The Donkey Kong theme, the banner image with the flaming Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
It was all great.
He hated that. He always talked shit about it.
So good.
I was always so proud of that.
I remember that was like, man, dinosaur times, right? Like Geoff designed that website, which I thought was great. I loved it. And then we used like a content management system called Movable Type. So it's like I had to
Yeah.
take Geoff's design and then make it work in this content management system, which allowed us to like post and create like archives and categories and everything. It was a big learning experience, but it worked well. I thought we worked on Movable Type for a long time. I think
Yeah.
we used Movable Type even when we first launched Rooster. When we first launched redversusblue.com, I set up a Movable Type website for that. And that's how it worked at first until we had the community site like a year in. But yeah, there was shit. You said something I want to talk about. Drunk Gamers, Ugly Internet.
Movable
Yeah,
Type, Bernie, those
Yeah,
early
we
days.
we had I think the first time that he like started working with us, and I use working very loosely, aside from the call center, of course.
Right.
Was
And
with-
by the way, we were friends at this point
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't want to sound like we weren't. Like
No.
we were hanging out and drinking and talking about movies and
yeah.
stuff. We just want creative partners.
I don't know if you remember, I had we talked about it, about how I had that website, showmethemonkey.com. I think the first time he started like working on some of that stuff with us is when he would quote unquote hack it. He was like the first
Yeah.
person to do that, to like get in and modify like the flash files and make things a little different on there.
Yeah.
Because back then when we would make these websites, we hosted them at the call center on one of the call center servers.
X25.net.
Yeah, oh, hey, I don't know if we should say that, but yeah,
Why? It's just a domain.
I don't know if it's theirs anymore. I don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know.
That was by the way, that was a cool website.
Yeah.
Our email addresses were, whatever at x25.net.
Yeah.
I fucking love that email address.
Yeah.
That was a really cool email address. But yeah, it was on those servers that we would always because hosting a website was really ridiculously expensive, especially back then. So we would do
Everybody
it for
had
free.
access to everybody's websites.
Right. So as a result, the managers all had root access on the server. So you just become like, go super user, get super user privileges, and then fuck with everyone else's website and everyone else's work. It was a big learning experience, and now you don't have to do any of that shit. I think about now you're just like, oh, Amazon AWS, cool, it's done.
Right.
There's just a million different ways to do all that stuff now. It's way way better now than it was back then.
What do you think? What was the first thing he made? It would have been a Halo tutorial,
Yeah. No, was that the first thing? No.
like something maybe with like Randall Glass style, like
I
Warthog
think-
physics stuff. Maybe.
I think it was the Soldier of Fortune 2 beta.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think that was the first thing he wrote for Drunk Gamers, was like a write up about Soldier of Fortune 2 beta.
God, he was such a funny writer.
Yeah.
It was like a serious thing, or like what was it?
I think the hook was trying to show that game to his wife at the time.
Okay.
He had this great bit where he would try to explain stuff to his wife,
Uh-huh.
and it was all real. I think for the most part. Like I remember him. Like,
This
it
is
was
just
all
like-
about
just
trying to
like-
explain GG to her, right?
Right, yeah, just like having a non-gamer sit down
Right.
and look at the super serious FPS and get like their perspective on it,
Yeah.
and just like try to write about that. And I thought it was a really good way to look at it, like a very outsider look at something that we all take for granted.
He was a really talented dude. I hope he does something with it again someday.
Jeez. I think that was the first thing that he did with Drunk Gamers. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah.
How long did Drunk Gamers go for?
2 years?
2 years. I want to say 2.5 years or
A little,
so.
somewhere around 2.5 years, and then Gus and I,
I think.
we made a joke that nobody got, and everybody got mad at us for.
Yeah.
Everybody was pissed off. We lost friendships over it. Briefly.
So like Geoff already kind of talked about this, how we would cycle through ideas, right?
Yeah.
Just like this idea, shut this website down, make this. I think after 2.5 years, we were ready to cycle on.
That idea had run its course.
Yeah, we were. We saw where it was going. It really wasn't going to get any bigger. It wasn't going to do anything else. I was like, all right, let's just iterate. Let's just do something.
And
new.
we had expressed what we wanted to through it. We did the thing, and then
We
it
went
was
to
just
E3.
like
it was all
just
to go to
repetition.
E3.
Yeah.
And we had a website. We got to go to E3 for several years. So done.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. And so we decided to end it. And the way we ended it was this is a little piece of Austin history for you. There was a guy who used to go around. I have no idea where he is. I hope wherever he is healthy and doing well. He was a really lovely guy. His name was Tim Pipe. And he was like a local Austin photographer who would go up and down 6th Street dressed up like as like a 1940s like newspaper man,
like a little bowler
like
hat,
a fedora
press,
or like a bowler hat, and had like a press pass and like a suit on that was like a little bit too big for him. A really skinny, tall dude, and just really, really engaging and really good photographer. And he had this old Polaroid that was like, I don't know, the size of like a full frame camera. It was like. It was like a full format camera. It was like huge. And he would go through and he would do like these almost like daguerreotypes. That's him! Holy shit,
That
that's
is
Tim.
him, yeah.
I found a picture of him from 2008. And it is exactly what Geoff described.
We would go downtown so much that we'd see him all the time.
And he would just go, he would go in and out of bars and stuff and be like, hey, you want me to take your photo? $5, give you a Polaroid.
Genius.
And you'd be like, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
genius.
Yeah.
And he would give you these black and white
so
photos.
smart.
Pre-smartphone camera days.
And I guarantee you've seen a ton of photos in Rooster Teeth history of Gus and I that Tim took. And just a lovely dude. We became friendly with him, and he actually shot my second wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a cool bit, and so he would just like, it was cool. He was a really cool dude. So we saw him one night at Casino El Camino, and we had just made the decision to end Drunk Gamers. And we were like, how do we tell the world? And Tim walked in.
all 3,000 people who were reading.
Yeah, all 3,000 people, you know, including like Zach and Bernie and a lot of people that were involved with it. And so we got Tim to take a photo of us just flipping off the camera like this.
Yeah.
And then we just uploaded the photo and went like, it's over.
I think we wrote like,
we're-
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, we're
It was
done.
fuck you, and fuck you. We're done.
Wow.
And then we just thought that was funny, a funny way to end a project. And everybody, without exception, was mad at us.
Really?
Everyone thought it was aimed at them.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. You learn a
Yeah.
very early lesson we learned with online audiences, which if you express something to the ether, everybody attaches meaning to it.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody thought we were talking to them specifically. They're like, why'd you say fuck you to me? And I'm like,
We didn't.
Skylock, I didn't say fuck you to you
Yeah.
or Zach or whoever. There was a fuck you in there.
There
to
was
somebody.
one person we
There
meant
was
to
one
do.
person we were saying fuck you to in there, and they fucked off. And they were a wimpy little bitch anyway. But yeah, and like it did damage. And I remember Gus and I had to do some apologizing
Oh
and
my
stuff
God.
to like rescue some upset friendships. And,
Oh, that's crazy.
And I was so surprised by that.
It's a black and white photo. If you ever see like a black and white photo of a much younger version of both of us flipping the camera off.
I mean, it's on the internet somewhere, I'm sure. But yeah, and I was a big lesson to learn because I really was surprised that people attached a real meaning to that moment because we thought we were just being kind of funny and pithy.
Right.
I will say we did very briefly with Drunk Gamers. We did very briefly experience like an early bit of internet virality with that site. And that was, one of the things we worked on with Bernie was when we did the Apple Switch parody.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like a video we made in 2000, the summer of 2000, parodying those Apple Switch commercials that had come out at that time.
I remember those, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously pre-YouTube, pre-really any internet video, we made and uploaded this video, and very quickly it became incredibly popular and was all over the place, and really, I think that was our biggest reach with that website was that video, which went everywhere. And I still see it pop up every now and then, various places. But that's the piece of content that kind of indirectly led to Rooster Teeth, because after we made that, in August of either 2000 or 2001. I want to say it was 2001. And then Computer Gaming World wanted to put that on their CD that they distributed with their magazines. But that they contacted us right after we had done the fuck you thing. So we didn't have a website to point to. So Bernie re-exported it. Instead of saying drunkgamers.com, he re-exported it to say redversusblue.com at the end.
Hell yeah.
And that was the version they put in with the magazine. Wow. And then that was like, oh, okay, well now we got to make this Red versus Blue thing as our next project because it's going out in magazines.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was wild in a few ways. One, I'd never done video production before, and in that moment, and this is going to sound silly, but in that moment I found that I was funny. Because we were making something in the moment that we'd never done before, and we were throwing lines back and forth to each other for you to say, and everything was making everybody laugh.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, this is all really funny. And then I'm like, oh my God, the thing I said was, like, Gus and Bernie both laughed, and we were friends. We've been making each other laugh forever. But there was something about doing it on camera, and it was even different from what we'd been doing in Ugly Internet and Drunk Gamers, which didn't feel like a real thing to me. Right. Something about filming it, and, like, it just, and, like, the bouncing around of jokes and ideas, it felt like something I wanted to do a lot more of, and I felt like I could be good at it. We could all be good at it. And then also, probably the most important thing, maybe even more important than the CDW thing, which was a big deal, was we put that up on a Friday afternoon. I remember it took a little while to film because we knew we needed daylight balanced lights.
So, okay, I was going to tell this story.
Okay.
So, I was not working at the call center at this time. I was working at my office downtown, and we were going to shoot this thing after work, and Bernie had instant messaged me and said, hey, you need to pick up a blue light bulb for the shoot we're going to do. So I went down to Holland Photo, which doesn't exist anymore. It was across from where the Draft House South Lamar is now. I went down to Holland Photo, and I was like, I need a blue light bulb. And the guy gave me a blue light bulb, and I showed up to the T&I warehouse. We filmed it in the warehouse at the call center. And I was like, why do we need a blue light for? And Bernie was like, yeah, we need a blue light, for the shoot. It's like, yeah, but
why?
Why this blue light? Why did I have to go to a photo store and buy this blue light? It's like, I don't know. You just need a blue light.
And Bernie was like, that's how dumb we were and how young we were.
I don't know.
Bernie had already made a college film at this point. Bernie Madden. But he was like, I honestly don't know. I just know we need it. It's something to do with the light.
What?
Yeah.
We were
like in our early to mid 20s. We had no idea about anything.
How do you answer the question with, I don't know, I just know we need it? That's insane. That's an insane answer to that question.
We got it.
Right, but did you need it?
Yeah. I think we did. I think in the end we did. Just for the white balance on the camera.
Say,
we know now.
Do you know why you need it?
Yeah, we understand now why we need it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was funny. That's just one of the moments where I remember like Bernie not being. Bernie's fucking.
That might be the only time you ever said I don't know.
Yeah.
In the 25 years I've known him.
I was going to say that is really out of character.
Bernie is like incredibly smart and capable and quick-witted, and you don't ever like he's never not on his toes. Right. He never puts himself in a situation where he's not incredibly prepared, right? I'll say. So it is one of the few moments where I've ever seen Bernie say I don't know.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing was we ended up putting that up a little later on a Friday than we wanted to. We were trying to get it up early in the day, and then ended up going up like 8 p.m. or something because we had to wait for Gus to go get the photo.
I was at work.
So he had to go to work, and then he had to get the thing, and it took forever to make. Yep. And then we put it up, and the thing that was crazy about it was we just posted it on Drunk Gamers, I guess.
I think we didn't even see the torrent. We just uploaded it for people to download.
Wow.
So, pre-YouTube, pre-Facebook, pre-social media, any way to share stuff outside of email and message boards. And the next day, Matt called Bernie, and he goes, hey, dude, have you seen this thing that Gus is in? And Bernie's like, what are you talking about?
Matt was in L.A. at the time.
Matt was living in L.A., working in Hollywood. He goes, I just saw this video of Gus doing like an Apple Switch parody. It's fucking hilarious. Do you have any idea about this? And Bernie's like, Matt, we made that yesterday evening. And Matt's like, how the fuck am I seeing it today? And we realized in that moment the power of the internet. Because nobody showed Matt. The way it got, I still to this day, I have no idea how it got to Matt.
It was his computer IT person at the studio he was working at.
Yeah, but how did they get to that guy?
Right,
like,
I don't know how it got to that guy.
It made its way through word of mouth and email chain. And then somehow, and we realized that Bernie's best friend in the world saw a video Bernie made less than 12 hours after we made it without anybody telling him.
Wow. So I remember now. We filmed that August of 2002 because we had to have met Matt for him to recognize me.
Yeah, we'd already done E3 before.
Right. So that puts it firmly in my mind. We definitely filmed that. So this is August of 2022. We filmed that probably around this time of the year 20 years ago.
Holy shit. Yeah,
we are probably right at about the 20th anniversary of when we made that right now as we're taping this podcast.
Another thing I quickly learned is that if you create what you think is a clever idea, within about 5 minutes, 60,000 other people will then also do that same clever idea.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like the Switch parodies were like coming fast and furious a week later.
Yeah. There was the dude who wanted to fuck the Thunderbolt
That
port.
was Ben Brown.
I remember him, yep.
Ben Brown, who I think still lives in Austin.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
Was Austin always this fucking gross? That's Town Lake.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it just
rained, but it's I've been here for 25 years. It's just rained a bunch. I don't think it used to get this bad. Like the ducks and the turtles are scared to get in the water.
Scared.
They
Did
don't
you
wanna
talk
get
to
in.
them?
I watched
I
them.
think they. I don't know.
I watched
They
them
look
be like,
fine. Those
no.
ducks are fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always been bad to an extent. You and I used to talk about maybe like carrying a trash bag in our car to just pick up trash whenever we saw it.
Yeah, that's true. I still I still carry them actually, and I have a grabber now, and I go up in Northwest Park.
We bought a
once in
grabber too.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I like
for
them.
picking up trash.
Yeah.
We haven't used it yet. It's been.
I sometimes will get up on a Saturday morning and go to like Northwest Park or wherever a park and pick up trash.
Are
It's
there
kind of a
any
fun-
picnic tables there?
You know, I've never evaluated it for picnic tables. I evaluated for baseball throwing, but not picnic tables.
When I lived in Puerto Rico, I didn't have anything to do. I'd wake up early in the morning and I'd go down to a beach near where I lived, and there was like a homeless dude who lived down there, and he would collect bottles to turn them in for recycling and make money. So I just go around the beach. I'd like hung out with this homeless dude in the mornings, and I just help him pick up bottles and like put them in giant bags so he could take them off and go sell them for
At the end
recycling.
of the week, you were like, "Cut me in."
Yeah, where's
motherfucker.
my money?
Is he technically homeless if he lives at the beach? Isn't that just his home?
Well, I don't think he owns the beach.
Well,
right?
who
He's,
owns
like,
anything, really?
sleeping on the beach. He had no permanent shelter.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
What do you think he's up to today?
I don't know. Hopefully, bigger and better things. Maybe he's got a fleet of people working for him picking
Yeah.
up bottles. He's like, hey, wait
Started
a minute.
recycling empire.
Yeah. We've talked
Jason is
about
our
Jason.
first guest we've ever had, and the first guest we wanted to have on this show
That's what I'm trying to do here.
because
Because what?
okay, I'll do it. Because Jason is one of our oldest friends in. Actually, Jason, you are the oldest friend I have in
Yeah.
Austin. I met you.
I thought Jason was younger than
before
you.
I met. Christ, is really?
Yeah, Jeff and I started
It's low-hanging
at
fruit.
the call center on the same day.
Yeah, we started at Telenetwork on the same day.
Yep.
And you were the first person I ever talked to. We had a training session in the conference room, and
Was that like January '99?
yeah. And I remember
was.
you just struck up a conversation with you, and I liked you.
I liked you too.
Thanks,
What'd
man.
y'all talk about? What was like the initial? What was the end? How did it go?
Man, what did we talk about?
I remember.
What did we talk about?
I remember.
Music?
I think we probably talked about music and stuff, and in our lives, because I remember you were like, "I'm just going to UT. I'm looking for some extra money," and I was like, "Oh, I have a wife," and you were like, "What?"
I was like, what? Yeah, what the? Why
And
would
I
you
was like,
do
"Yeah,
that?
I got a wife. I got a family. I got to support." And you're like,
I was 20.
"Yeah."
You know?
It's funny looking back, like how young we all were at that time. Very different perspective. Not looking at the trash as much down on the ground.
Yeah, that's true.
Never looking at. We were the trash down on the ground back then.
We were looking
you
up,
know?
looking up at the people.
We were looking up.
You were living. You were a UT student. You were living on campus.
I lived on
then.
campus,
Yeah.
and I got that job because I won't say her last name. Lindsay. I knew Lindsay from like UT News Group.
This Lindsay, or which
no,
fuck is that?
Lindsay.
Isn't the
Well, the-
You're thinking of Laura.
Laura is what I'm thinking.
Well, so
of.
the reason I won't say Lindsay's last name is because I can't remember it, honestly. I don't know. This girl, Lindsay, who I knew from...
Is she the one who dated Jacob?
Who's Jacob?
Who the fuck is Lindsay? Did Lindsay work at TNI?
Yeah, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds right.
This is the best episode of this podcast.
She was Laura's roommate. Yeah, who
Yeah.
had that party.
Where you
Yes,
became
that is
friends.
who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Lindsay-
Bleep that last
What's the
name.
last name? Yeah.
The 5 times we just said it.
It
over
was
and
just.
over
It was
and over
twice.
again.
Yeah. So you knew her?
Yeah.
How'd you know her? I didn't know you knew her.
Because in Jester, the dorm that we lived in, there was a news group that like a bunch of us who played foosball in the basement of Jester like met each other in this fucking UT news group and became friends in the dorm. And she told us that she worked there, and I was like, shit, I need some money for, I don't know, Chinese food or something. I don't know what
Damn.
20-year-olds spend money on.
Were you? Did you have? Like
She was like,
a-
yeah, they'll hire anybody. I was like, that sounds like my kind of job.
So you were at UT. Were you a freshman?
In '99, I was at that point, I was probably like, that was my the second half of my
Did
sophomore
you have a
year, I think.
scholarship or something? How did you go to school?
No, I didn't have a
Say
scholarship.
probably not. He got a job.
Loans.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper then, though, than it is now.
Yeah, for sure.
Loans and credit cards. Back then, they would like. I remember in particular getting a phone call in my dorm room, like on a Saturday morning, it waking me up and being like, "Hello," and they were like, "Hey, this is Discover Card. Do you want a credit card?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I just gave all my info to this person who called me. I didn't call them, right? I didn't even think about it till like fucking years later. And then they sent me the card, and then I used it. It worked and everything. But I don't think they. I mean, one that was dumb on my part, but I don't think they can do that anymore. Just
Just like,
call you up.
Hey,
and-
you want some credit?
When I was in basic training in '93, getting a credit card was like a part of processing into basic training. They're like, and then if you want a credit card, you can get a $2,000 limit over here, and you just like you go to that line and you
Everybody
fill it out,
went,
and
right?
Then you're instantly $2,000 in debt.
Yeah.
18 years old, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is how now I'll be in the military forever. Now I got it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. I did. It was a similar thing, but no, not that anyone called me. But my freshman year, the only year I went to college, there was just like people around, and it's like standing around campus, like here, fill this out. You get a credit card with $4,000 limit. Like okay, then instantly $4,000 in debt.
Yeah,
I ruined my credit for years.
Yep, everybody did it.
And yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
You had some sweet Z Cavaricci jeans and British Knights. That's what I spent on mine on fucking dumb
Hey, one thing I
clothes.
was thinking about when we were driving around just a minute ago looking for a picnic table.
Took us 20
Have
minutes.
y'all ever talked about when we tried to do the Trudy's Grand Slam?
I don't think we ever have talked
I
about
don't
it.
Because
think we ever
it's
talked
kind
about
of
it.
a little bit of a misnomer because there were only 3 Trudy's at the time. There's not really 4, which
But there
kinda
were
you need
6
to get.
drinks.
Yeah, so at Trudy's, they make a drink called the Mexican Martini, which is basically just a giant margarita on the rocks. They serve it in a shaker. You get a little martini glass.
Tastes good,
It's good. They'll only serve you
they leave
2
you
of
the whole
them.
shaker.
Yes, they leave you the whole shaker. It's probably like 5 drinks per drink. They'll serve you 2 of them, and then they cut you off. Not only can you not order another Mexican Martini, you can't order any booze at all after that. And so we had an idea. There were 3 Trudy's at the time. We were like, let's do the Trudy's Grand Slam. We're going to get 2 at each Trudy's and see if we can get through 6 of them. Jeff's first wife was going to drive us and not drink. And we went to this first Trudy's that's over here by campus, which I think is currently closed for renovations. And we drank our 2 Mexican martinis. We're getting drunk. The waiter comes by and is like, we haven't had a chance to leave yet. The waiter's like, hey, my shift's about to change. Can I close you guys out before the next waiter gets here? We were like, sure. And so we pay, and then the busboy just happens to come by, clears off the table, and then we still haven't left, and the new waiter walks by and was like, you guys need drinks? And so we never left the first fucking
going.
Trudy's. We
Yeah.
never made it. We never made it to a second Trudy's, so we just drank there. But we still should have done that.
Yeah, I tried it another time.
Did you?
Actually.
I never made it, yeah.
And I started up at the other time I tried it. I started up at the Trudy again, not driving. We had like A separate driver for this. I started up at the Trudy's North, drank both of them. Came down to the Trudy's Texas Star, which is the one by campus. Drank 2 there. We drove down to the Trudy's down south, and I ordered a 5th one, but I could not.
I was on that trip with you.
I could not stomach it.
Didn't make it through the 5th one.
No, it was like partway through the 5th one. Like everyone else at the table was like, "All right, we'll help you finish that." It is.
Yeah, that's too many. I don't think you could do it.
Yeah, no, it's rough. It's really. And nowadays I can't imagine doing that. I can't imagine drinking 1. Oh man, yeah, that was really dumb things.
I feel like I tried it too early in my drinking. I bet if I had done it at like 38, I could have fucking nailed it.
Way to go, man.
Probably why I don't drink anymore. It feels achievable even now when I think back on it. I feel like I could do it.
It's because they taste so fucking refreshing.
They're so good.
You know?
And it's just like 6 drinks.
But you feel so bad by that. I
Dude, you
still
would
to this
feel
day
so bad.
remember what I felt like trying to drink that 5th one.
Yeah.
It was bad, really bad.
Yeah.
Like not being able to stand up straight, bad.
Oh, hey, I got a question for you guys. Y'all talked about a wedding where the tab had to get refilled a couple times. Was that my fucking wedding?
No.
Because that happened. Because that happened at my wedding too. But I knew. I mean, it's not like it was a surprise. I would have known it. I had not. I mean, you guys were at my wedding, but then we had another. I have another contingent of friends who are like musicians. So everybody at my wedding is a heavy drinker, and they had to come to us and be like, "Y'all already ran out of booze," and we were like, "We're not even fucking. We haven't even got married yet. Like, what happened?" And it's because those guys there, though, they were like, we told them, we were like, well, drinks, give them the bottom shelf stuff,
they
you
don't
know?
deserve good.
And people would walk up and be like, can I get a margarita? They'd be like, you want Patron? Fuck, yeah, of course you're going to run through the tab quick.
No, it was someone else's wedding. And
You
in
do
fact-
know that person, though.
And in fact, that wedding that we were talking about, the Rooster Teeth account just posted a photo of Geoff and I dancing.
Was that at that
That
wedding?
was
It
at
was
that
at that
wedding.
wedding.
That was from that night. Yeah, that was that same place. That was probably in 02?
That was the
01?
night we talk about our friend Mushi sometimes. It was 01. He got cut off that night because his face turned bright red.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? Yeah.
But
And they were like, we
it-
can't serve you anymore.
It's not. I mean, and honestly, that's a little racist on their part.
Uh-huh.
It's not that he was drunk. It's just that he's Asian, and some Asian people get flushed when they drink. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if they have like 1 drink or if they're like super fucked up. Some people will just get super flushed, and he'd only had like 2 drinks, and he got flushed and red, and they cut him off.
Yeah, he was pissed. I
It could
remember.
just be what you drank too, like when I drank that damn Hypnotic in
Oh,
Park City.
dude,
Remember
that's
that?
a great. Let's
I
talk
forgot about that.
Let's talk about that fucking trip.
So we went to
Sundance.
Was this the
This
first?
is Sundance,
the first
the first time
we
we
went to
went,
Sundance. We were staying in we couldn't find a place. It was last minute, so we couldn't stay in Park City. We had to stay in Orem.
Yep.
So we had this house that we all like stayed in, and we had like it wasn't only us. It was like some other friends that we'd invited, and they'd invited friends. So it was like kind of like this party house. And there was this one guy we knew who would come down to stay with us, and and this other girl we knew, and they were kind of interested in each other. So they were like being all lovey-dovey with each other. But the girl had brought another friend with her, and so we like had to entertain her while the two of them were like being lovey-dovey, and we were like, we're being nice hosts to this girl. We're like, well, we were at a liquor store, like, what do you like to drink? And she's like, oh, I only drink Hypnotic. We're like, what the fuck is Hypnotic?
What the?
She's like, it's great. You'll love it. It's the only thing you want to drink.
What type of liquor was it?
I don't.
It's like
gross.
Blue.
Yeah.
It was like this frosted bottle. It spelled like HYPNOTIQ.
Yeah, that's the only way you could spell it.
And
was
so we're like,
so
all right,
fucking
fine,
gross.
whatever. So we went back and we were playing. What were we playing? Like Texas Hold'em. We were
Yeah,
playing
we were
cards or
playing poker.
something.
I did not like
It's
that girl.
a blend of natural exotic fruit juices, premium vodka, and a touch of cognac.
It's vodka? Oh, cognac. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you had never had it before. Or none of us had ever had it.
No.
But you really wanted to try it.
I don't know if I really wanted to try it. I was just young and I would drink anything. And so I was gonna try it. But yeah, I turned fucking red as shit from that.
I thought
I got puffy.
I legitimately thought we were gonna have to take you to the hospital.
There were discussions. I remember it.
It's like is like his throat gonna seal up? Is this gonna be something bad?
Has that ever happened to you since?
Never had Hypnotic again. But I might.
We should try
Should
now.
try it and
Yeah.
see. We should have done that for this podcast, but there's no camera here, so
All I remember is that girl was hammered and just kept talking about how she was a good mom.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Where everybody's like, nobody's saying you're not.
I just remember seeing
It's your,
it.
by the way, deal. We're trying to play cards.
I remember that girl trying to answer her phone. She had a sidekick, or she was using somebody else's sidekick, and like instead of having the side of the phone that would be the obvious side that you would talk into, she had it like
Oh, yeah,
this,
she had it like
and she was trying
backwards
to
and
use
upside
it.
down.
We're like, what is wrong with this girl?
Hypnotic. That was a fun trip, but it sucked because that house was like an hour away
Yeah.
from Park City.
Yeah.
So it's like you would get up in the morning, drive in, do whatever events we had. Then, like, as a group, you'd have to like wrangle everyone, then drive an hour back to the hotel or to the house in Orem. Was that the year I got the flu, or was that the next year?
I don't think you were sick.
It might have been
That
the
trip.
next
Oh,
year.
maybe
Like,
you were.
I got
Oh.
the flu like at the very end of that trip.
No, I think it was the next year.
Okay.
Y'all went again. I don't think I went on that trip. It was like when you got drunk and peed on the snowman or whatever.
Yeah, we stayed in Park City that time.
Yeah.
We were staying at that condo. I think that was like our third trip to Sundance.
Did we have 3 trips to Sundance?
We had like 3 or 4. We had a few. Yeah.
I think
Because
I
we
only
stayed
went
in
once.
Orem. Was that the trip where you went and saw that movie? Was it Alone in the Dark or that shitty movie with that 90s actress?
yes. It was Tara Reid.
Tara Reid,
and
that was it.
Christian Slater, and it was a video game movie.
Yeah.
And we saw it. We saw it at like a mall, and we had to leave like 20 minutes in. We couldn't take it. Tara Reid was not a believable scientist. I remember that. She was like an archaeologist or something. And we were like, we can't do this. And that was fucking weird because we were like, we'll just rent some movies and go home. But all they had in the whole fucking state was clean flicks. I
Yeah.
remember that. And so every movie, like they had video stores that were just, it's Utah. So they were just like family friendly, safe. They would edit all the fun stuff out of every movie. And so you could like go rent Boogie Nights, but it was 8 minutes long.
It was a totally different movie.
Dude, now that you mention that, I'm surprised that we could even buy that Hypnotic stuff there because like all their beers are like 2.3%. They sell
Yeah.
different versions of beer there and
Yeah.
stuff.
If I remember right, I think it was all state-run liquor stores too.
Oh, yeah.
Like you couldn't just buy it at a grocery store or at any private liquor store. It was like what they call a package store. I think that's what they called it.
Yeah.
You had to go to like the specific state-run booze place.
So now
and
we're
buy
in
it
some
there.
database.
And also that was, if you remember that trip, anytime I think the law has changed since then. But if you were going to a bar in Utah at the time,
Oh, you had to be like a member.
you had
or
to be
some
a
shit?
member of that bar. So any bar you went into, you had to fill up a membership card and apply to be a member at that bar, and they would process it. And it would be like, it would cost you like $5 to apply to be a member. But as you were, as
It's
soon
like
as
a
you were
lifetime
approved-
member or something,
Yeah, they'd
right?
give you like a coupon for $5 off a drink. It was like they totally rigged the system.
Yeah.
Do you also remember that same time we went to the movies at the mall, they were giving away, they had some sort of a contest to give away a free wedding, and there was a line out the door like hundreds and hundreds of young couples. They had to be like interviewed, and then I don't know if they found that maybe it was for like a reality TV or show or something, but they were going to give them a free wedding. And we thought it was insane because there was maybe 200 couples in line, and they were all blonde. It was like Village of the Damned. It was just like, it was like Hitler's wet dream, and it was like so fucking weird.
The reason I asked about the movie, about Alone in the Dark, is because I know for a fact then that is the year I got sick, because I couldn't go to the movie because I was sick, so I wasn't there at the mall, so I couldn't see the line.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
Yeah, no, I did not see that. I do remember, I think it was the next year I went to Sundance. Like the first year we went, and I watched like a bunch of movies or whatever, stuff that was in the festival. The second year I went, I did not see a single movie that was in the festival. The only movie I saw the entire time I went to Sundance was I went to a movie theater to watch the Peter Jackson King Kong movie. That's the only movie I saw that entire trip to Sundance.
That had one of the best celebrity sightings we ever had too. That first year, we saw I think it's Scott Farkas. Is that his name? In Christmas Story, the guy that wears the coonskin hat.
Was it Farkas? Farkas was the neighbor.
That was the neighbor, yeah.
It was the bully.
It was the bully, dude.
Yeah.
And he was just like walking around with a coonskin cap taking photos of people.
Really?
And he was like, hey, it's me, that guy. And everybody was eating him up.
You looked him in the eyes, and it's like, oh, that's definitely the dude from A Christmas Story. We also, I don't know if you remember this, that same year, that first year, we were driving down the highway, and we pulled over for some reason, I think to like take a photo of like a mountain or something, and Pierce Brosnan was just standing there. Like in the middle of nowhere. Like we just pulled over and we're like, hey, let's take a photo of this. Holy shit, it's Pierce Brosnan right there.
I feel like I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God. And I think a couple of us took a photo with Pierce Brosnan. Like just because we randomly pulled over on the side of a highway between Orem and Park City.
Did we take those Master Chief suits to the first one?
Yeah.
Who wore them? Matt and
Matt
Geoff.
and I wore them, I think.
that sucks, dude.
I had to be the blue guy, and Matt, which I always thought was fucking insulting, and Matt got to be the red guy. And I remember walking around, and it was brutal because it was like 10 degrees outside, so the mask fogged up instantly, so you couldn't see at all, and you can't walk at all in these things either. They're brutal, and so I was having to be held around with my hand, like my ex-wife was like walking me around, and then Bernie yelled at us because Master Chief can't hold hands in public, and I'm like, I fucking get it, but how am I gonna walk?
And also it was icy and treacherous.
Yeah, it was slippery as fuck, dude. It was Park City in fucking February. Yeah.
Does he know that Master Chief isn't real and can just do anything?
Well, we were very, very protective of the brand at the time because we had been given a lot of.
It was very difficult to even get these suits to begin with.
Yeah,
and
everything had to be approved, and they had been very kind to even let us. I mean, this is a tremendously valuable IP they were letting us fuck around with, and so we were trying to be really respectful of it. But also, I didn't want to die.
Also, there was a human who was our friend in that suit.
Yeah. I was fucking mad that night about that.
That's the year that Crispin Glover movie was playing at Sundance. This Is It?
This Is It.
Or Is This It?
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the rap movie?
It was a trilogy. No, it was not the rap movie. It was a trilogy he made. It was This Is It.
What is it?
What is it?
Fuck.
Yes, it is, or This Is It, or something like that. Yeah. I think we saw that at that big theater. Was it the Egyptian Theater?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Like right there on the main Dragon Park City? Fucking weird ass movie. Have you ever heard of this movie, Eric?
No, I'm looking at it now, and it's just it's insane looking. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's From the Mind of Crispin Glover. I think he made 3. I don't know if he made all 3, but I think he had said he had envisioned it as being a trilogy. I want to say he made the second one, but I don't know if he ever made the third one. Yeah, it's a great place to watch weird ass movies you wouldn't see otherwise. I guess nowadays it's like easier with like digital distribution. You can just see whatever you want at any time, unless it was on HBO Max.
Another thing about those trips is, and I don't think I was involved in this, but at Slam Dance, there was a video game festival, and at least Bernie was involved in like
he was one of the judges,
being one of the judges, and the game that won, I think.
No, it didn't win.
It didn't win.
It came in
second place. Was a game called Narbacular Drop.
Narbacular Drop.
Sorry. It's been a long time ago.
It's also not a real word, so I'm not going to make fun of you for not getting it right.
Narbacular Drop, which got bought right after that by Valve, and it became Portal.
Yeah, it was it was a great game. Yeah, we had to play it like they had like an open floor where you go play all the games that were in this video game festival. You could play. Bernie dragged us all over to play Narbacular Drop, talking about how amazing it was and how good it was. It was like, yeah, it's a really fun game, and then Val bought it, and they just reskinned it as well.
He was right.
They updated it a bit. It's pretty different. But
Yeah, and they were like, we're not calling this thing narbacular drop.
People are going to call it narbenacular drop, narbanicular drop. It's fucking stupid. I wonder what won that year. I wonder what beat Portal.
Narbacular drop. I'm sure we can look it up.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't hear about slam dance as much anymore as you did back
No.
then. Like back then, it was like the hip alternative to Sundance. Like Sundance was all stuffy and artsy, and slam dance was like a lot more of that like renegades. It was not a civil goat.
And then there were more. There were a couple years there where there were like there was like no dance, and there was 1 or 2 years there were like 5 or 6 all at once going on there, and then they all died pretty quickly.
I went to Sundance again to give like a presentation with YouTube back in 2017.
Really?
Yeah. So it had been like over a decade since I'd been to Sundance, and I happened to be there at Sundance in 2017, the day Trump was inaugurated. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so like everyone woke up early not everyone, like a bunch of people woke up early that morning and did like this protest march down like the main street there in Sundance
That'll
or in
teach
Park
'em.
City. I was like, no one, the people here, like nobody here
Yeah,
fucking cares. Like
yep.
you're not demonstrating to anybody who's not on your side here.
Yeah.
It's I mean I appreciate the effort, but it's not here. Yeah, I stood when I was checking into the hotel for that presentation. I forgot what the hotel was that I stayed at. I checked in next to Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he must have been there. I don't know what movie he was promoting, but I was like I turned to my left. He was actually on my left. I was like, oh, I didn't say anything. I was like, holy shit, it's Lakeith Stanfield, like standing right next to me, checking into the Marriott or wherever the fuck we are.
He seems like a really cool dude.
Yeah, really, really big fan of his work. I did not want to bother him, so I just silently freaked out in my head.
Yeah,
and
like
said
I like
nothing.
you enough to not acknowledge you.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy the like the celebrity sightings you can have and the people who are just walking around there.
It's wild to think of all the kinds of trips we used to take back in those early days.
Dude, I got a trip to tell
Okay.
y'all about that I'm sure y'all remember that you haven't talked about because it's my shitty experience. And actually, it turned into y'all's shitty experience because do y'all remember going to New York? I don't know what it was for. And Bernie thought he was going to be real fucking funny.
It was the
to-
season 1 screening at the Lincoln Center.
Bernie thought it was going to be real funny to book me back home through an airport called Islip, which is like halfway out Long Island.
I do
It's like
remember that.
60-something miles out Long Island.
Real dick move.
And so he books me for like the earliest flight in the morning. It's an hour and a half cab ride to get to this airport. And so I remember getting up super early, taking the sketchiest cab ride out to this airport out in the middle of fucking nowhere, getting on my flight to get home, and I land, and I got some text messages and stuff, and it's Bernie telling me that everybody else's flights got canceled out of Newark because of a blizzard, and they ended up being stuck there for like 2 or 3 days, right?
Yeah, we were stuck in New York. You were the only one who got out because
Yep.
you flew out of Islip
I was
first
stuck
thing in the morning.
2 days longer than y'all because I flew like American, or I flew differently than everybody else somehow, and ended up getting stranded for an extra 2 days.
Yeah, I think the rest of us, we weren't all out of New York. I think some of us were New York, some of us were JFK, some of us were LaGuardia, but it's like every other airport got shut down. We were all stuck. I remember all of us being in that hotel lobby because we all had to check out. Our reservations were where we were all in the lobby with our bags.
Trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, and it was like pre-smartphone like we know them today. So like all of us on our shitty-ass cell phones calling airlines trying to figure out a way to get back to Austin to rebook ourselves. That fucking sucked.
What did you do?
We all had to wait. Everyone rebooked differently. I think
Yeah.
it was like since we all booked differently going there was no like one master booking to rebook, so everyone had to call on their own. So we were all sitting there next to each other. We were all competing with each other, trying to see who could get back. And Jeff came out on the bottom. That's why he was there 2 days.
Yeah, but I made a fucking great vacation out of it. Like I visited friends, I had a good time. I remember thinking like, what a lucky fuck up that was for me. And by the way, you mentioned that Bernie did that to fuck with you. That's not
paying me back.
hyperbole. That is, huh?
Oh.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
he-
real.
Oh, no, he thought
said
it was
he-
funny.
Like,
He thought it was
people
going to be
wanna know
funny.
what it was like to work
Yes.
in those early days.
He said
what
that
it was
to our
like to
face.
work and
Yeah.
be friends with Bernie in those early days. He was like, "You will not believe what I'm about to do to Jason." And of course, Gus and I are like, "Fuck yeah," you know.
We were-
as long as it's not us, as long
we
as
were-
it's not me,
We were all bullies.
His payback
It's
for all
bad.
the grenade throws.
we were all so rude to each other.
It was awful.
God damn.
There was another time. I don't remember which project it was for, but there was another time that Jason, you and I flew out to Portland to do a commercial.
Uh-huh.
And like we flew out on a one-way ticket because we weren't sure how long it was going to take. And I think we finished like in a day or two. It was really fast. And we were like, oh shit, there's one more flight back to Austin tonight. If we like haul ass to the airport, we can buy a ticket. So we haul ass back to the down to the Portland airport. We go up to the counter to buy the ticket. We still haven't bought the ticket at this point. And we're talking to the agent at the counter. She's like, yeah, there's only first class tickets left. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll buy first class tickets back to Austin. So we show up to the airport, but we're like, we need to get to Austin. First class tickets, we'll buy those. She prints out our boarding passes, and then before she hands them to us, she takes out a pen, and on the boarding passes, she writes SSSS on both of them and hands them to us. And we're like, what the fuck does this mean? That's weird. And we get to security, and they see that, and they're like, oh, you need to step over here. And they went through everything we owned. It was like strip search.
Dude, I got no recollection of that. I kind of
Super
remember
Secret Strip
the
Search is what
flight.
it stands for.
Yeah.
It was like a late night flight,
Yeah.
right? I remember that, but I don't remember the
Yeah, and they were like,
pat down.
Yeah, it was more than a pat down. They like went through all of our shit. They like, we had multiple people come and like wand us and like pat us down and just like.
What year was this?
That would have been like
2006 or 7, probably.
maybe
2006,
05, 05, 06,
maybe, yeah.
somewhere right around there.
It was back in the time when it raised a lot of red flags if you bought a one-way ticket on the day of the flight.
Like an
In
hour
first
before the
class.
flight.
Class, and probably didn't check bags.
And if he looked like Gus.
Yeah. I'll never forget. I to this day, the reason I'll never forget it is I remember what the Portland airport carpet looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I was just staring at it for so long at that security checkpoint, waiting for them to let us through.
Millie took her first steps in that airport, actually.
Really?
Yeah, her very first steps. Do you remember how those first like 6 or 7 years, Bernie's name was similar to that of somebody on the
he was on
TSA
the
watch list?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he had to go through enhanced security every time he went to the airport.
Really?
For any reason.
And
yeah.
it got to a point where if you traveled with him or you were on the same record locator as him, they would put you on the list too.
So everybody would book separate from Bernie.
Yeah, we all had to book separately. If you got on the list by being on the same record locator as him, it was only temporary. It was only for like a couple of months, and then you'd get off it. It'd be fine. But we'd all learned it. It was like, oh shit, we cannot book with him.
But it
anymore.
was not temporary for him.
No,
for a very long time.
It was years.
Gus, you remember going to Amsterdam?
Of course, I remember going to Amsterdam. We were in London for like 10 days.
I think it was like maybe 6, but we only had like a 1 day long commitment or something like that.
It was like a 1.5 hour long presentation.
Yeah.
Is this y'all and Joel? Or
Yeah.
just-
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, Joel's with us.
And so we go up there, and first of all, it was my first time in London. Was that your first
Yep.
time in London? I tried to find us a hotel to stay at, and back then it was like $2 to the pound, so everything was like super fucking expensive. And I found like a Marriott, and I was like, fine, we'll just stay at this fucking Marriott. That's $600 a night for some reason.
Yeah.
And we get there, and I realize why. It's right at the base of the London Eye, right across from Parliament and Big Ben.
Jesus.
It's like if you ever see like an establishing shot in a movie for London, like that we stayed at that like center in that shot. Like, oh, that's why this Marriott is $600 a night.
Right.
It looks like an old castle. So we show up, and we check in and everything, and they're like, all right, great. Your panel got rescheduled. It's in 4 days. I'm like, oh shit! Now we're in London for 4 days with nothing to do. I don't know if you remember this. We were walking down. So we walked out of the hotel. We walked by the base of the London Eye.
Yeah, and you got recognized.
Yeah, I was like going to take a photo of you like at the base of the London Eye, and like some
Dude,
random.
this is like early. The DVD wasn't even out yet. I don't
It
think.
was
Or was it?
04.
Was it?
Maybe
was
the
the
season
season
one,
1 DVD
yeah.
out?
This is back when Gus used to have those hand-burned DVDs that he would write
Yeah.
RVB on, and he would give out to people in the parking
I mean,
lot.
this is
That's not
definitely
true.
like the first time.
That's fucking true. I was there, dude. It happened to Fries.
The dude handed me a DVD.
in your
I did not
car.
hand him a DVD.
You were like, I got a DVD on my car.
That is
Go on,
not
sign
true.
it.
That's not true at all.
Anyway, so Gus and I are trying to kill time. We're like, what are we gonna do? And we go look at Waterloo Station just to check it out, and we're kind of looking at the board of departures, and we're like, damn, we could leave in about an hour and go to Amsterdam and just check it out.
You kind of manifested this.
What do you mean?
We were walking by outside of Waterloo, and you said, wouldn't it be crazy if we walked in there and there was a train leaving right now to Amsterdam? That's why we walked in to look at the board.
Well, shit. No, we did have a little bit of time. We were like, oh, it's in like an hour. So we went back to the hotel, got like a backpack with a pair of underwear in it. We were like, let's fucking go to Amsterdam for a day. We'll come back tomorrow. So we get on this train. We get to Amsterdam.
We don't have a hotel or anything.
No, we end up finding one, which had one of the best hotel breakfasts I've ever had. I don't know
It
if
was
you remember
so
that.
good.
But
It was a Crown Plaza.
So we get to Amsterdam, we're just walking around. We're like, well, now what? So we're like walking around. We're like, I guess we're supposed to find weed. Can we talk about this?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So we're like,
in
I guess we're
Amsterdam.
supposed to find weed since we're in Amsterdam, right? So we're kind of walking around and we smoke a joint or something like that at a bar. And then, do you remember, Gus, you were like, we were somewhere and you were like, oh, look, there's like this weed cake. And
Dude,
I was like,
it was a hash brownie.
and I was like, don't do it. I was like, Gus, how often do you eat weed? Because it's different, you know.
Yeah,
if you eat
totally.
I was like, how often? You were like, never. I was like, don't get it. He's like, I'm gonna get it.
I wanted the brownie. Really,
Shouldn't
is what it boiled down. Listen, Jason.
I'm sure they sell regular brownies in Amsterdam.
I want to say you were 100% right.
I know.
I should not have eaten that hash brownie.
Luckily, he wasn't out of commission for that. But he definitely, I was like, shit, man, this is gonna ruin the rest.
It fucked me up. And we were there. I remember we were like, what's the worst that can happen? We'll go down there. We'll walk around. We'll find a hotel. Again, that's like pre-iPhone, pre-smartphone, like we know them today. I think we went to 5 different hotels before we finally found one that would let us check in. I think we said, worst case scenario, we'll just sleep in the train station. It's like not that big a deal. We found that Crown Plaza. We went out and it was wild because like you walk out and you're like, after, this was my first time in Amsterdam after having grown up in America, you're like, you're kind of whispering like, oh, should we do some drugs? Should we buy some weed? And then there's like,
Is my mom gonna find out?
There's dudes on the corner everywhere who are like, coca, extra,
yeah.
extra. And they're just like,
He's like, damn, dude, I was just gonna smoke weed.
like what do you got in there?
Did Joel go with you guys to Amsterdam? Or was it just
No,
did you guys
man, he
peel
didn't
off?
want to
It
have
was
any
just
fun at
us.
all, man. He
Was
was like,
there-
nah.
Was there something to that story about you guys going too far on a train and ending up in a
No.
sketchy
So
neighborhood?
yeah, kind of. On the way back,
So because of the fare we bought.
yeah, we got lucky. On the way there, our train, it got us there, in the morning or in the afternoon or something. On the way back, we had to spend like 6 hours in the Brussels train station. And so we're like, yeah, we'll just sit there. It'll be fine. But of course we get there. It's like midnight and we're tired. And so we find some hotel across the way. And then we start drinking or whatever. We're like, we need some food. And so I don't know if you remember this the same way, Gus, but we get this, we get a cab. We're like, take us to a part of town that's still open where we can eat. And so the guy's like, all right. So we're talking to him, shooting
Real
the shit.
friendly guy.
Yeah, he was super friendly. And he gets us to this part of town that's like, it's not like 6th Street. It doesn't seem like bars, but it's real lively. There's a bunch of restaurants and people out and stuff. And he's like, okay. He's like, y'all want to go eat here in this restaurant? And like, as we're getting out of the car, he's like, oh, and if anybody asks, you're Canadian. We were like, what the fuck? Where did he just drop us off, dude?
Yeah, he was legitimately looking out for us. Like we had like such a good rapport. He was like, hey, just so you know, if anybody asks, you're from Canada. And I was like,
yeah, feel good about this.
Okay, great. But it didn't matter because we went out and we started eating and then we immediately started drinking again. And the 6 hours elapsed instantly. I remember getting on that train, or actually I remember walking to that train. We had left the hotel and our train was, we were in Amsterdam still, walking over to the train station. We had like a little bit of weed left. And I had it and I was like, shit, what do we do with this, Jason? We can't take it with us. I was like, should I throw it away? And you're like, nah. And you grabbed it from me and you're like, here. And you just like left it on the ground. Like someone's going to smoke that. Someone will find that.
They probably did. Somebody did probably find that and smoke it.
But I remember we got on the train and the train was packed going from Amsterdam to Brussels. So we couldn't sit next to each other. Not a big deal, whatever. And I had to like sit next to this like middle-aged man and his like 12-year-old son. And I was just like so fucked up, like I sat down and immediately, I sat down and like as I was passing out, I could see like the 12-year-old like elbowing his dad and pointing at me and laughing. Well, I don't remember where you sat. I have no idea.
I don't either, man. I was probably underneath the seat or something.
I don't think you guys went on the trip to Edinburgh with me and Bernie.
Nope.
But we were at a bar, and I noticed that like at most bars in Europe, if they spoke English, they sounded American. Mm-hmm. And so we struck up a conversation with one of the bartenders, and I was like, "So, are you American? How'd you get it?" And he goes, "No, I'm from Canada." And then we talked to another bartender. Everybody's from Canada. And so eventually we came back around to this guy, and I was talking to him again, and I go, "Why? It's so weird. Like, there's just some sort of a rule where like Canada like sends people out to be bartenders elsewhere?" And he goes, "No. He kind of looked around. And he goes, "I'll tell you the truth." He goes, like, "We're all American. Like, everybody who says they're Canadian is America, but everybody fucking hates America. So we all just say we're from Canada, and nobody bothers us."
Whoa.
I remember another side note about our Amsterdam trip. Before I ate the brownie, we were sitting in a bar in like one of those coffee shops. Well, they call it a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like a bar.
We didn't have any fucking coffee, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
and we're sitting at the bar, and there's this real cute bartender who's working, like serving us drinks and whatnot. And I don't know, we're drinking beer or something. I remember, like, Jason asks her, like, what's your favorite beer? I want to drink whatever your favorite beer is.
Some dumb shit with
yeah.
bartenders like this fucking guy.
And she's like, I'll get it for you, but it's real expensive. And she's like, yeah, no big deal, whatever. And she's like, no, like, once I get it for you, you have to pay for it. You have to buy it. It's really expensive. It's 10 euros for this beer. And she's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. So she, like, goes into the cooler and pulls it out, and it's a fucking Corona.
She was fucking with me. And so I was like, oh, you're going to fuck with me? I drank like 7 fucking Coronas after that. I kept ordering them. I was like, give me another Corona. Until she finally, like, liked us.
Yeah,
I drank enough Coronas. She was like, okay, these guys
Well,
are
you
all right.
you put her kid through college in one night, so.
Yeah, she came around. Either she came around or you got really drunk off that Corona.
God. Dude, I got another Corona story. And I'm pretty sure I've told you this one, Gus. I know I've told other people. Gus and I also were traveling one time to Santa Monica for work. And we went to this little old bowling alley that was there that had a bar that was like, there was just a little window. It was like a 2x2 window, and you could kind of see the bust of the bartender, and there were like some beers and stuff back there. And I was like, Gus, I'll get us some beers. And he went over to the lane, and I was like, what do y'all have? He had like 3 beers, and one of them was Corona. I was like, I guess give me 2 Coronas. And he goes, do you want limes? I said, sure. And so, you know, I haven't seen much of this guy. I've seen like the top of him. He puts the beers up, and he grabs a lime, and I see his hand come up, and he's got this like little shriveled black fucking nub of a pointer finger, and he pushes the lime all the way down into the Corona with that finger. And I was like, oh, I just needed lime in one of them, and that was the beer.
I forgot about that.
Sorry, guys.
No,
We're all
great.
still here.
It's all good. Oh, man. Yeah, that was like that bowling alley. It's like right off of Pico.
It's got to be
right by
gone
Ocean
now, right?
Boulevard. Yeah,
Maybe?
I remember that. It was like around the corner from where we were working. God, that fucking bowling alley.
Wasn't there a trip when you had, maybe it was you and you're Jason, maybe it was you and Gavin, you had to go to New Jersey for a convention and your booth was in the parking lot?
It was in D.C. Were you there?
Oh,
You
yeah,
were
I was there
right?
for that, yeah. That's when we had that
It-
handler who was really weird.
I kind of remember that, but yeah, I remember our booth being at the bottom of a parking garage, like beyond where they had the niceties of the convention set up, and so we were just by some concrete pole,
Yeah.
like on the
Like
ground.
part of the convention floor was in the parking garage. I want to say that convention was called Katsucon,
That
if
sounds
I remember
right.
right, and it was like in February in DC, and it was
Dude,
cold
it was cold.
as
It was
fuck.
so cold.
Because you were in a parking garage.
Because we were in a parking garage. Feel free, we can cut this if we need to. But we had that handler. It was like the convention had assigned us like this person to help us get stuff, like a runner. And she just kept talking about getting fucked on top of a building while like other people watched.
Right.
Like she wouldn't drop it. And we were like,
Please don't cut this.
and like every time she would bring it up, it would get like really eerily quiet. And it'd be like, okay, anyway, like you want to talk about anything else.
We were like, "There's no roof access here. Drop it."
It's so fucking bizarre. We went to so many weirdo events like that. I
Did-
think that's the only year we went to that one.
Do you ever miss going to conventions like that?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like walking around, seeing what's going on, but I don't really miss traveling for that specific purpose. It
remember
was always kind of stressful.
There was that one year where it was only you and me, Jason, at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes, I do remember that.
And it was like we had to coordinate when we were going to the bathroom
Yeah.
or when we were going to eat because we both could not leave at the same time.
Yep.
Did you guys not have a Caleb or a Gavin or
No,
anything?
it was
Man,
just the two
shit.
of us.
I don't know whose idea that was.
That must have been like the last year we did Comic-Con.
I don't
No.
think so.
This was like 08 maybe, 07.
Why?
I don't know. I think everyone else
Everybody-
was doing something else,
Yeah.
and it was like, well, shit. Jason and I gotta fucking go to
We were
San
like,
Diego.
yeah, we could handle it.
Do
That was
everything by
dumb.
ourselves. What a nightmare. It was awful. It was really bad. Like not having any downtime at all.
Dude, Comic-Con's a lot of fucking work.
It's a lot
Or
of work.
at least the way we used to do it.
Yeah, because you gotta show up early. You gotta unpack everything. You gotta set everything up. Then even once it's done, you gotta tear everything down. You gotta ship it all out. It's so much more than just like standing there and like talking to people.
I
There's
think
a lot of physical manual labor.
Comic-Con is probably why I love Caleb, Gavin, and Barbara as much as I do, because they were such helps when we were doing that convention. Not that year, obviously. Well, I mean, they were probably helping me at a different convention, so I was probably appreciating the hell out of them. I was thinking about this just a second ago, trying to determine when the last time the three of us performed in some way together. I don't know if this is considered a performance, but the last time we were on mic together, and I think it must have been. We've never really talked about this too much, but I think it must have been that drunken RVB recording we did.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was it.
We tried to redo episode 2. Is that what we were doing?
I don't remember exactly
Or that was
of
the
course you don't
goal.
remember
That was the
anything.
goal.
but the goal. The way it worked is we agreed to do it as a extra life stretch goal, I want to say. And so we all got together to do a drunken RVB recording, and we recorded Eric for over 2 hours. The last thing I remember 2 moments of the night. I remember Matt
This was in the
Hullum.
broadcast space in stage
This is stage 5.
Yeah.
I remember Matt Hullum taking a full bottle of Jack Daniels, like a full handle of it, and throwing it behind him like that, and just hearing it explode.
That was you.
I did it after he did it. I did do it later because he did it first. I don't remember doing it, but I think you're right. I think I did do it.
Gross. He just.
He was like,
No, you're right. I did do it too. But I did it because Matt did it first. Because I was like, oh, if Matt does it, it's fine. He's the boss. And I think we all agreed, like, everything that we talked, like, nothing could come out of that. I remember it being an insanely fun night.
We never got to the fucking read of the script.
We never got to the read of the script. I think Gus
Well, by the
got
time we
mad
got
and
to it,
left.
I had left too.
Yeah.
You left.
I just disappeared.
I remember
said I was
saying
going to go to the bathroom, and I just didn't come back.
I remember saying goodbye to you in the parking lot. I think we both went to the bathroom at the same time, and you were like, "I'm leaving," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you?" And we had drivers for everybody. I remember that. But I think eventually, and then Bernie was like, "We can never release this," but we were like, "We have to because we promised it." So I think we released something like 7 minutes,
It was like a very,
but it was
very much cut down.
over 2 hours of just, oh my god,
Frustration.
frustration. Yeah,
Not the first time that I disappear when we're trying to record something because I get so frustrated that it's not happening.
Yeah, dude. That might be where I've seen you hit your limit the most in my life is when you get like Bernie and Matt and Jason, Joel, Gus, Geoff, I guess, together, and then drinking starts happening, and work tries to happen through the drinking.
It's not gonna
And if
happen. It's not
Bernie
gonna
is
happen.
into the drinking, like if Bernie is in it with everybody and is like, "Yeah, let's have fun," Gus is gone in like an hour.
Yeah, it's because it's not productive. Nothing's going to come of it. It's
Well,
pointless.
stories come of it.
Stories. Well, it was even worse back when we had to drive all the way to fucking Buda. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about the time you hit a deer?
Yeah, I think
He
so.
didn't do it on
I
purpose.
didn't do it on purpose.
We're driving down, like, Bernie's house was really in a rural area of Buda. So we'd have to drive out there, and, we were working all these weird hours. And I remember one time we'd finished whatever we were doing, and we'd left, and we all had separate cars. And I got a call from Geoff, and Geoff was like, "Hey, I'm out here in Buda still in the middle of nowhere, and I hit a deer. I don't know what to do. I think it's still alive."
So
And I think you called me because my dad was a game warden. Like I had
Yeah.
experience like deer hunting and shit like that. And I think what I told you was just leave it.
yeah, and I called my ex-wife too because I was actually going to see her, and I was like, I'm going to be late, and also I'm not sure what to do. I feel terrible. I was leaving, and I hit a deer just ran across the street, and I had that old Chevy C10 pickup truck. It was a tank, and I hit the deer, and I just kept driving because I didn't, I was kind of in shock, but I could hear the deer like bleeding in the background, so I pulled over, and I was scared to turn around. I called you. I called her. I think she said, go to a neighbor's house and see if somebody's got a gun to put it out of its misery. And I was like, fuck. And I think you said, just leave it. And I thought, I gotta kill this thing. I gotta put it out of its misery. So I turned around and I thought, maybe I can run it over it just right and kill it.
By the way, don't knock on rural Texans' doors in the middle of the night and ask for a gun.
Did not do that. I did not do that. I
Don't
did
ever
not
do
do that. That was not good advice, and I didn't take that advice. So I thought, I got a big ass pickup truck. I can probably run over a deer's head, and it'll kill the deer humanely, or quickly at least, and then it won't be in any more pain. And so I turned my truck around, and the deer's in the middle of the street just like sitting there. So I back up, and I'm like lining it up to try to hit it. And as I'm doing that, the deer gets up and just runs away. And I went, oh, fuck, problem solved. So I hit the gas, and I start driving again, and another deer runs out, and I hit the other deer. And then that deer just like bounced off my car and got up and ran away. And I was just fucking crying at that point, and I just drove home.
Y'all have talked about y'all's old trucks before.
Yeah.
And Geoff, do you remember that you bought that truck from my friend Sean in San Antonio?
I do.
And I don't know if you ever told this story that we went. I took Geoff down there to get that truck, and we met my friend Sean at an HEB, and we left. And then, or had we already left? Somehow Geoff was like,
left.
"Where's the title? I don't have the title." Like, I know I got it from him. And we went back to HEB, and it was just on the fucking floor of HEB by the checkout.
It had just dropped, and we like searched HEB and found it. Thank God. I also remember that you told me.
I like the passive voice. It had just dropped.
Yeah, it's just,
it wasn't me.
It came out.
It just fell out. I don't want to blame Sean, but he dropped it. I remember too. You told me the next day that after that you're talking to your friend Sean. I think I paid $4,000 for that truck.
Yeah, or $3,500 was it?
And
$4,000?
your friend Sean was like, "Man, I would have taken like $3,500 for it." And you told him he would have given you $6,000. And you said your friend Sean went, "Oh man,
It's fucking great.
Dang.
he's mentored you. You've gleaned insights from him.
Oh, absolutely.
And that scares me.
Yeah. Oh, but they're great, and it helped a lot, especially
Yeah.
with like Bernie and Gavin and stuff. Where Gus told me like, don't give him an inch, because if they have wiggle room, that's where extra medium becomes the biggest fucking thing. Like, you can't give them anything.
You will never it probably won't ever happen again because Bernie died or whatever. But he's off living. He retired upstate to a farm. He's got lots of room to run.
He's running around in fields with other content creators.
Yeah, it's like him and some pigs. It's like 1984 actually. He's running the farm newsletter. No one can break Gus.
Yeah.
Like, I can get under his skin. I can needle him. But no one can like break Gus on a personality level.
Yeah.
And just turn him off and shut him down faster than Michael Bernie Burns. It is a superpower that man had. I assume he still has it at the farm.
Yeah.
Upstate New York. Or what? I don't know. Anytime somebody says upstate, I always think upstate New York.
Yeah, I think it's just the term.
I guess so.
I think that's why Gus has that notion of like, can't give him an inch, because he knows what happens when anyone gets an inch.
Yeah.
So don't give it to him.
1 inch of Bernie into Gus, and it's fucking game over, dude. Just the tip, barely.
Man. At Mooney Riot on Twitter says, "Do you have a favorite tattoo?"
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, you want to know?
Okay, shut up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love all of my tattoos.
Of course.
That's not true. I dislike a lot of them. But
Do you really? Because that's the next question. Somebody asked, "Do you have any tattoos that you don't like?"
I got a couple.
Okay, cool.
This one right here, it's on the what would you call this?
The butt of your hand.
The butt of my hand butt. Like the softest part of your hand.
Yeah.
Is a little ghost. And that's from a picture Millie drew when she was 3 called Daddy and the Ghosts.
Oh, really?
And it was a picture of me in the middle of the paper and 1,000 ghosts around me.
That's fucking scary,
It felt
dude.
like a threat. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
so
we
you got
lived in a
tattoo.
we had a haunted house thing going on there, and Millie used to draw a lot of ghosts. But I picked one, and I decided I was gonna.
That's a good one. I like that.
I like it. So that's probably my favorite.
That's really cool. That's somebody else asked, "What's your? Do you have a least favorite tattoo?"
Oh shit! Yeah, probably. I got a couple that aren't least favorites. I have a tattoo of the Savage Dragon right here. That's just an ugly mess of green.
Oh, I think.
And I don't really collect comic books anymore, and I haven't for many, many years. So I'm not crazy about that one. I'm not jazzed about having Gavin's nose on my leg, but whatever. I can live with it. Don't know that I need a Bad Religion tattoo anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, I was a kid. Here's one that's funny. I won't say I regret it yet.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't come up. But Emily and I were in Hawaii a couple years ago for her birthday.
Yeah.
And we get tattoos, vacation tattoos, wherever we go.
Oh, cool.
Like I got this in Amsterdam. Got this in Australia. We just
The first one's a Jar of the Lightning Bolt.
Oh yeah,
the second
Jar of
one's
the
a
Lightning
palm
Bolt.
tree.
Palm tree.
Got it.
Smoko.
Yeah, I'm on Smoko. Cool.
Yeah, I'm going Smoko. So we always get like dumb little tattoos wherever we go. While we were in Hawaii, we thought it'd be fun to get pineapple tattoos because we had just toured the Dole pineapple factory and had Dole Whip and did the corn maze and the whole thing and just loved it.
Yeah.
And a friend of hers who used to work at her salon was Hawaiian and was like I don't know if she's a receptionist or a hairstylist at the salon, but she worked at Emily's salon, and then she moved back home to Hawaii, and her mother owns a tattoo parlor there in Honolulu.
Oh, that's cool.
And she works at the tattoo parlor, so we had an instant hookup.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah, so we just went in one day. She got to hang out with her old friend.
Yeah.
I got to get tattooed by this really cool old like Hawaiian skater punk dude who was really nice and talking about music and stuff. And to commemorate our trip to Hawaii, we got these pineapple tattoos. Right side up pineapple tattoos. I bring that up because I was not aware.
So you were made aware. Got it.
I have since been made aware that the pineapple is like the Swinger logo.
Upside down pineapple
Yeah.
is the Swinger logo.
And so I just have to keep my foot on the ground at all times.
Yeah.
And Emily's is very visible, like on her arm. And it hasn't come up yet, maybe because it's right side up. But I've seen people look at it, and it's a little, and I feel like,
Keep your eye out when you're at the grocery store, and you might spot someone or a couple who are walking around the grocery store with a upside down pineapple in the top part of that cart. That's a real thing.
is that how shoppers, is that how swingers shop for sex?
I
you just
think
walk around with
It's
the upside
that,
down?
and then having, you know how you put like little flags in like your front yard and stuff like that? Upside down pineapple stuff, an upside down pineapple in like a window, stuff like, isn't
Yeah.
that fucking crazy?
That's crazy and not what we were going for at all. So I don't regret it. But, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
Jazzed about the association.
Oh, that's funny. You started talking about the pineapple, and I wonder if this is going in the direction I think, and then it did. At Merch Guy Steve says, what would the title of your autobiography be?
I one time wrote a suicide note. Not because I was gonna commit. Not because I'm gonna commit suicide, but I just thought, like, what's the most? It was like a writing exercise. This is like not that long ago, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I thought, what's the most succinct suicide note that could convey everything you wanted to convey in one sentence? And I think it was because I had just read this BJ Novak book, One More Thing, and he had some really brilliant short stories that were like a page long.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, it was just like a writing exercise. It wasn't because I was suicidal in any way whatsoever. But the suicide note I've come up with, if things go very badly, which I don't anticipate, I guess I'll use it, was just, it's okay, world, I didn't like you either.
Oh, damn. That's a great title.
So that's what my autobiography would be called. It's
that's-
okay, world, I didn't like you either, the Geoff Ramsey story.
That's a great title for
Thank
an
you.
autobiography.
Thank
Wow. That is not where I thought the beginning of that. That was different. Oh, man. Woof.
Not suicidal.
Got it.
A happy dude.
Completely understand.
Yeah, very happy dude.
Moving on. At Matthew Lewis 1, is there a bar or restaurant that you really miss, or one that you're glad is gone forever in Austin?
I wish Gus was here to help answer this because
I feel
he's
like-
got the vitriol
Yeah.
side.
I feel like you're gonna go, oh, there was this one taco place, and then I feel like Gus would be like, there's this place wronged me one time, and I'm glad it's gone forever.
I liked a bar a lot on the east side called Peacock Lounge.
Oh yeah, okay.
That place was it was a tiny little bar at the end of 6th Street. I think it's a place called St. Rock's now or something like that. Not the same. It was like a swanky little place, and they had like, this is back when I was drinking heavily. They had absinthe, but they had the full setup. Back before it was cool to have the full setup, you know? It became like in vogue for a little while after that. Kind of like hookah went through a phase.
Right.
There was a place, I think we probably talked about it on this podcast, that Gus and I used to go, called Shaggy's Boombastic, which where we'd get like these Jamaican jerk fries that were really good. A lot of people talk about Holiday House. I never went there.
Okay.
Jack was talking to me about it last night. A lot of people around UT loved a place called Players. I thought it was okay. As far as places that I don't miss, I would really need Gus here for that.
I mean, it's not like you go to a lot of bars anymore. So
It's not like I go to a lot of bars anymore. Yeah, it's my I'm out of touch with the bar scene, which is so funny to me because when you drink, maybe not everybody, but like drinking was a huge part of what was my social life, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you get off work, go straight to a bar for happy hour 6 days a week. I used to read a book in there and drink and just like spend time by myself or hang out with my friends. And when I quit drinking, I remember thinking like, I'm not going to be like, I'm determined I'm not going to be one of those guys who never steps foot into a bar again.
Yeah.
Like just because I don't drink the alcohol doesn't mean I can't still enjoy the same ambiance, the same environment, have conversations with the same people. And turns out that's utter bullshit. Bars are fucking gross. They smell like stale beer and ammonia and bleach. And everybody when they drink is annoying.
Yeah.
And you just don't realize it because you're also annoying.
Right.
It was I never stopped. It was the fastest thing I ever quit in my life was going to, like instantly I went, oh, God damn. It's like going to a strip club with the lights on for the first time. And you're like, this is where I've been. Oh, I touched that? Yeah. So yeah, I don't really, I'm so far away from bars, I don't really think about them. It is the dirtbag maturation process, right? We climb out of the dirt and then you don't want to go back into it.
No.
I totally right there with you.
Yeah.
Like the old idea of going to like fucking like a narco punk shows in abandoned warehouses and shit and fucking passing around who knows what it is you're drinking. I don't miss that.
No.
Like once you get a taste of anything nicer.
Will you and Gus get an Anma tattoo together? It's a question from Echo Darkfire. You and Gus get an Anma tattoo.
I would get a tattoo with Gus.
Yeah.
We already have it. We got tattoos together.
Do you really? I didn't know that.
So Gus has got, to my knowledge, 3 tattoos.
I think that's right.
He's got an E on his finger for Esther. He's got an Atari logo on the small of his back, which
That's great.
I supported because I thought it wouldn't be. I supported it because I thought it was a bad idea. Like I was like 100%. Wanting to make fun of it.
Yeah.
But the first tattoo Gus ever got, he wanted to. I don't know if you've heard this story. I apologize.
No, I don't think I have.
He was a real big fan of the movie Blade. We're both enjoyed the movie Blade.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes, man, and that movie's so fucking cool. And Donald Logue is in it, and he plays a good bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I got him with my pig sticker. and then he's like in the Dow of Steve, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that's the same person. And then Wesley Snipes is like, some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill, which is still the coolest thing I've ever heard somebody say in a movie.
It's a great one.
But anyway, all the dragon, like all the Renfield dragon clans, they brand their Renfields like on the back of their neck. And Gus wanted to get one of those. The Kobayashi, I remember it. It was the like the Asian samurai one thing, vampire clan. And he wanted to get it, but he was scared. And I was like, I'll get one just to fucking do it too. So I got the Dragonetti, and he got the Kobayashi, I think it is. On the backs of our necks on the same day.
You have a blade
I got
tattoo?
it first to show him, hey, it's not no big deal. And then he got it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
and
so
then
cool.
and then we ate it. Not too long after that, we were eating at Wan Fu, which is that Chinese restaurant we talked about with the wet floors. And the the waiter recognized it and was like blown away. He was like, Is that a blade tattoo? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, it's from the Dragonetti, right? And I went, yeah. And then I thought, I don't want other people to know about this. And I was like kind of grossed out. Like the dude was kind of weird. And then I was like, oh, the people that recognize this, I don't want to have these conversations. And so I just prayed it never happened again. And it hasn't so far.
Oh, that's good.
There are a lot of people in my life, Bernie, my family, all of my friends, most of my friends, seem to think that I will not be able to stop working.
Okay.
Like I will not be able to actually retire.
Right, they're right, but okay.
And that if I retire, I'll just create a new business to run as a part of retirement.
I mean, it sounds right. How long ago did you start this company? Anyway, we just started
19 and a half years.
Yeah.
I think I would like to think that I will ride my bicycle and I will listen to fucking rock and roll records.
Okay.
And I will swim and jet ski, and that's it. What I suspect I'll probably do is start some sort of a baseball card shop. I don't know, man. Dude, I just see myself like in this nice old century home. Yeah. Like we rented a house in Lockhart, which if you're not familiar with Austin, it is a town 35 minutes southeast of Austin. It used to be the barbecue capital of the world. It's still got all those great barbecue places, but there's just so much great barbecue everywhere now, even outside of Texas. Texas barbecue has kind of taken over at least the United States.
Yeah.
And there's a Texas barbecue place almost as good as any Austin, Texas barbecue
Everywhere.
place. Pretty much every town you get, major town you go into.
Yep.
You can get fucking phenomenal Texas barbecue in New York right now.
I think that it's a thing that's just spread out. And
Yeah.
it's great. Lockhart, that was like the spot though.
It was
like,
a spot.
You'd always hear about it.
It's a place where they filmed the movie Waiting for Guffman.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very charming place. And anyway, there's a house there that we rent sometimes, and it's like this 3-story old century home with a pool in the back, and it's like got this really well manicured lawn with like bamboo, and it has like a speaker system outside. So you go and you just like lay in the pool and turn on rock and roll music and drink
Nice.
a Diet Coke and just be lazy in the sun. I would like to do that every day for the rest of my life.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'd like to find a house like that somewhere more affordable than Texas.
Yeah.
And just work on a tan. Yeah, really.
That's great.
And just listen to music. Like I was thinking about this the other day with like, I don't play video games anymore.
Yeah.
I started a company
It's good you got
based
PS5.
around
That's
playing video
Yeah,
games.
yeah. You got PS5 now, so it's fine.
I got a PS5 now. I mean, I played this game called Gems of War. I played it for an hour before I got here.
Jesus.
But it's not because of anything other than it's just like an addiction, and they named an achievement after me that it's taking me a long time to get. And when I'm done with that, I think I'm probably done. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Right.
The thing that I still really love to do that I could easily spend like 3 or 4 hours without even realizing it is just listening to music. It has never gotten old to me at any point in my life. It's always been like the most entertaining thing I can do. It's part of why I love to ride bikes is because you just listen to music in your headphones while you ride bikes. It's a great way to get exercise while listening to music. So I think I could just very happily just listen to fucking bands.
Best early office pranks, or who was the best kind of office prankster?
Oh man, this is another one where it'd be great to have Gus here.
Of course.
I don't know. It's hard to even identify an office prank because it was like there were like 3 or 4 a day. You know, like it was constantly. We were talking about this the other day. Like all of our friendship was derived on being really cruel and mean to each other.
Yeah.
Like the thing with Jason and the Islip airport ticket. There were so many of those things. I will say, just kind of jumps to mind, and something that I had kind of forgotten about, but popped into my head the other day. My favorite thing used to be, and I don't know if this counts as an office prank, but we used to, especially in the early days, before YouTube took off, when machinima, was considered an art form, and therefore in our early successes we were doing a lot of like college talks and going to film festivals, and it morphed into anime and video games and comic book conventions pretty quickly. But there was about a 3-year period there that was the time when we were like on the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and all that stuff, when we were an emerging technology and an interesting filmmaking tool that like James Cameron had used to help design the Titanic and shit like that. It was a little high-minded at the time. It didn't last. Didn't last long at all. Or maybe it did continue to last, but people realized that we were dick and fart jokes, and we didn't fit in with that.
Right.
But in that period, we won some awards, and we would end up on stage a lot. And my favorite fucking thing on earth to do was to go up on stage with Bernie, watch him get into his groove, and then embarrass him. And I did it to him over and over and over again, every opportunity I got. Anytime Bernie and I appeared on a stage or on camera together, I found a way, either by saying something so outlandish or outrageous that it shut him down, or that he had to recover from, or doing something physical to him or behind him so he didn't know why people were laughing at him. Just the most juvenile shit. And I did it 100% of the time.
That's fantastic.
Like one time, we had to go up and give a speech, and it was right after Kanye doing the George Bush doesn't care about black people thing. We gave a speech in New York City for winning an award, and Matt had a whole thing, and then I think Bernie or somebody said something, and then as they were walking off, I just yelled, "George Bush doesn't care about black people," but the mic cut out, and so they just heard me scream "black people."
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh fuck! What are you doing?
And then, and I thought it was hilarious. It didn't bother me, but it really, really tainted the evening for everybody else. It really, really soured the mood. Really, really, yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
I don't regret doing those things, but I don't miss doing them.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. We'll do this on the last question here from Ostease on Twitter. What project or direction that you can talk about did you want RT to take in its early days, but didn't come to fruition? Your stories about what paths you guys took early on and the reasoning behind them is very fascinating to someone who became a fan around 2010. So was there something that you were like, we should go this way instead of that way, or something that you wanted? Like, were you really banking on Strangerhood to go like 20 seasons or what?
That's really interesting. I think that we tried to go in those directions, and it became pretty clear, like that we took the paths that worked.
Yep.
You know, so it's a lot of times it wasn't a decision as much as we tested the fence, and then we just kind of went where we could make traction,
right?
Or where we could, and so like we tried with Strangerhood, and it became almost immediately. And we tried to we're going to get a license and we're going to do it right from we started a partnership with EA and we did this whole thing. And then it became very quickly very difficult to film.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things where we had a lot of confidence in what we were doing. We made one episode. It wasn't terrible. And then you realize how much harder it's going to be to make the next 11 or 12. I soured on Machinima pretty quickly in that process because I realized I think we could have gone a route where we did more Machinima. But I think Bernie really correctly identified this, and it made a lot of sense, and I'm glad we did. Which is that like all the games that were best suited for what we were doing were FPSs, and pretty quickly you discover when you try to do a new series in Call of Duty or whatever, you're just making a ripoff of the thing you've already done. Like we were just making a lot of Red versus Blue clones, and we didn't want to do that. So we tried to be really selective about those productions, like 1-800-MAGIC was in a game called Shadowrun, and we did it because we could lean into the magic and had this whole fantastical world. That was like Joel headed that up, and I thought he did a great job with it. And then we did a series called Panics in Fear, and we just leaned into the horror comedy. And that was, I think, honestly, that's about as far as we could go in that direction. There was always a lot of internal struggle and debate over whether we should continue to do the commercial work we were doing, and ultimately we stopped. It was tough because it was good. It was really good money and consistent work, but it was also, and this is another moment where I thought Bernie was really insightful. Every time we were working on a Madden commercial, we weren't working on our thing.
That 100%.
It was somebody else's IP, and it was ultimately a little short-sighted. So I really do feel like we took the right paths. You know, there were a couple of moments, I guess, where we could have explored partnerships, but we really did. I really do feel like we made a lot of the right decisions at the right times early on. And so Gus might have a different answer, but nothing really jumps to mind other than I guess we could have gone further down the Machinima rabbit hole, and I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, that's great. Good answer.
It also forced us to come up with other lines of business.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
that's how this happened. That's how broadcast happened. It's how events happened. It's how animation happened. There are 3 bands that everybody loves that I just have never resonated. They just have not resonated with me, and I've never got.
Yeah,
Queens of the Stone Age is in that band. In that group. They're number 3 actually. Number 1 is Radiohead.
I'm with you.
I don't fucking get it. I'm so sick of hearing about Tom York's range, and then I hear a Radiohead song, and it's just like some guy going, like a fucking balloon escaping air. Dude, I was living in New Jersey when I was my last year in the Army when OK Computer came out.
Yeah.
And it was like the world stopped for them. I remember dudes taking vacation. I was telling this to somebody the other day. Dudes taking vacation to get from the Army to get in line to buy tickets at Madison Square Garden for their fucking show, and just thinking
I don't get it.
What is this?
It's not for me.
Number 2, and I feel like as a band I should like. I probably should like Queens of the Stone Age. I just don't know. I just don't. I never got the Flaming Lips. Everybody loves the Flaming Lips. I never got it.
I would never qualify it as this is my favorite music. But I still put it on and I go, fuck yeah.
It's like the soundtrack of where you grew up.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Do you have shit like that?
No, because I understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't say. I would say the closest thing to that would be like Pantera. Like everybody where I grew up, it was pervasive. It was all Pantera and but it was a lot of was a lot of Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of country music
Yep.
in Alabama and Florida where I grew up, and Louisiana too. And then
But you don't put that on now. You don't put on Calling Baton Rouge and just go to fucking town.
no, I think what happened is I guess I so identified against everything around me growing up, that like I grew up with this like visceral hatred for everyone around me.
Yeah.
And everything that they liked. So I think that's where punk rock was kind of a respite for me, because it was so different from it was either Guns N' Roses, it was either like racist redneck piece of shit dudes who just like wanted to get in fights with anybody and hit them with a wrench.
Right.
Listening to like Guns N' Roses and Pantera, or it was just racist piece of shit rednecks listening to country music in a pickup truck, running around looking to hit people with doors.
Yeah.
And then Snoop Dogg, a lot of Snoop Dogg, which I liked. But so it was like I just kind of identified with everything against what they. So I actually missed I go back and listen to Pantera now. I'm like, oh, I can get why people liked Pantera.
Yeah.
At the time, I hated it because I identified it with everybody I hated.
Right.
And so the soundtrack to where I grew up it was just misery. It was sucked. Yeah. So
That's tough.
yeah, that's okay. I felt like an outsider every day of my life there, and plenty of people helped me do that. And so punk rock became like a sanctuary to me.
Yeah.
And so I think I have such a deep affinity for it because it was such an escape. So I probably worked out for I probably have deeper appreciation for music than I would have.
Yeah.
So-
I guess sort of talked about this on another episode, but like going to emos and stuff, like that was the thing, right? Like coming down, you would just emos like how many nights a week? Just go seeing like whatever band.
Probably 6 nights a week. Yeah.
Were there any? Because I think we talked about it briefly before, where you're just like, yeah, I saw Blink-182 when they were Blink, like when it was like early shit. Like, what is there anything like concerts that really stick out to you, or one that you remember other than Cat Scratch?
Cat Scratch. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it would be easier to tell you bands I didn't see,
Fucking crazy.
because there were so many. Like there was a time, especially when punk was like, it was right around the time that Green Day broke, and and Nirvana was cool, and so everybody was into grunge, and then pretty quickly rolled into punk. And so it was a big business at the time, and it was the era of major indie labels doing well, like Epitaph and Victory Records, and so there were just so many bands on tour all the time, and living in and near Austin, it was so easy to go see shows. And so I was just like, I saw everybody from 1994 to probably 2005.
Jesus Christ.
Probably around when I grew out of it.
Man.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
It was
That's
an
nuts.
awesome time. I even briefly, I shouldn't get into it. I even briefly became very friendly with Dimitri Coates, who's the bassist for Off, which is the other band, and he kept trying to convince, like he kept telling me like I would love Keith Morris and I should like do an interview with Keith Morris and do some sort of a thing with Keith Morris, and I've wanted to for years, and I would love to have. I wish I'd have known. I would have tried to set that up because the dude's a fucking hero. I saw him in this building once,
Really?
before an Off show.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I froze. I couldn't talk.
Yeah. Classic weirdo.
Yeah. I hope I'm not butchering this story, and I hope I'm not getting it wrong, and I hope it's okay to tell. But I don't know why I wouldn't be. But I was having a meet and greet with Dimitri at his house in L.A. Because we were looking at maybe doing some merch stuff with him. This is a few years ago. It didn't end up happening, but it was still an honor just to get to hang out and talk to him. And the dude's like really into architecture, and we had some great talks about like Neutra and like mid-century modern architecture. Really interesting, really smart, layered dude.
Right.
But he was telling me he's kind of blown away by the success of Off as well, and he was telling me that he. I hope I'm not fucking this up, but he went to Dave Grohl's house for a party. He got invited to Dave Grohl's house, and when he walked in, he said, "I want to say the first 2 Off albums were framed in his entryway."
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And Dave Grohl's like, "No, this like you have no idea how much I love Off and how much I love what you guys are doing.
Off rules.
It's fucking crazy.
They're great.
Yeah.
It's good shit.